Okay, hello everyone. Should be working now. Double check that, make sure it's coming through properly. Is everyone doing good? Great to see people here already. Still can't see that it is working for me. Come on. Yeah, YouTube is just not working. Sorry guys, just a little technical difficulty while I make sure it's really coming through. There we go. Right, brilliant stuff. Okay, sorry about that. As soon as I pressed go start streaming on OBS, it said, hang on a minute, what are you doing, pretty much. But we're all sorted now. Hello there, hello there. First comment says, you're aware that's ripped off. I did not know that, actually. I'll have to double check with that. Not that I don't believe you, but that's the first I've heard of it, I'm afraid. That's quite the problem if it is properly ripped off, without any credits, actually. But yeah, I'll look into that. Thank you very much, though, for joining so quickly. We're playing the Allies in the newish Total War mod for War on the Sea. So this mod does add quite a few different ships, makes the game a little more strategically in depth, just a little bit. It gives you a bit more to think about. I've been playing it the last few days and having quite a bit of fun with it, so I thought, why not have a quick look, see what people think to it. We might do some more videos on it later on. We're going to start with the standard Guadalcanal campaign. This does integrate the Pacific campaign and the Dutch East Indies campaign. So we're going to start with the standard strategy of going for Renault Island. I think it's just a good springboard place to get yourself ready in your Guadalcanal campaign when you're playing as allies. We're not going to go for the standard US ships. I love King George V. So we're definitely going to start with that by default. But we also get access to the Netherlands, get access to France, get access to the Soviets and Polish ships. I think it's actually just the one ship. It is indeed from the Polish. So we can get that out later. But I think, got a bad reputation for losing destroyers very quickly. So if it's just a destroyer we get out. I think we will start, though, with a few American destroyers, because we know what we're working with there. I do like to get a couple Marnes, but I think for some torpedo power, we're looking at maybe a British ship. They're slower than Japanese, but there's a midpoint between Japanese and American. They don't have the range of Japanese, but they're more reliable than Americans. Do we want to go with the standard Jervis? I'm not so worried about Admiralties. The E-Class is a little more modern. The range is okay. I want to get closer to 8 or 9 kilometers. This is not available to us at the moment. J-Class, it's too short. I think we're probably going to start with maybe... Yeah, they're all very short range, actually, aren't they? We're going to start with Jervis then, at least just the one. And just for the sake of using what we can get our hands on, we're going to go for an N class as well from the Australian ships. So go for that. That's 4 destroyers. I wouldn't mind perhaps a heavy cruiser. We're going to go for something a little different once again. The Surabaya, it's alright, I suppose. Is that the only heavy cruiser we get from the Netherlands? It is. We could get a French Algerie. Hello, it's Sun Tzu and Darth Vegan. Great to see you both here. Yeah, thank you, Kostas. Yeah, please, you're the modders. You know what's going on with it. I'll leave you to defend it. Again, I can't back up any of these claims, unfortunately. I'm just taking it as they come in. So that's literally the first I've heard of it. I'm thinking Algeria. It's quite fast at 31 knots, and speed is something. Well, the King George in it, but not exactly the fastest. But it does have torpedoes, good range, and some decent secondaries. AA cover's fine. Gets a scout off it. Air radar's good. We get surface radar from destroyers and such. So go for the Algeria. Pretty damn decent. Do we want to add anything else to that? Maybe a light cruiser? Yeah, I think a light cruiser really, just to batter down some destroyers that much easier. I think we go for an American one once again, just because we know what we're doing with that. And it's quite interesting to see a Seattle at 13 cost. That's very, very interesting indeed. We might have to go for that. But it's very powerful to start with. And we love that. So we'll do that for now. If you want to come up with names for these task forces, you're very welcome to do so. I don't mind putting them in, as long as they're somewhat on the sensible side. I'll just go a little more supply heavy with this, because we're going to get out a true supply task force, and we'll go with something standard with this. I do want it to be a little bit quick though, so we're going to go for the Cameron for supplies. It gets two. We do have a few CP left, so we go for 4 of those, and we'll go for some destroyer escorts, really more just for anti-submarine capabilities. So once again, we'll go with what we know, and we'll go with, I think, we'll go with horses. Aren't exactly bad, they can defend as well. So just go for a couple, 3, 4 of those will do, and we load those up with 1,000 troops. A couple thousand supplies there, and you know what, we're thinking of building up Renault Islands, so we'll get 2 more thousand supplies and a couple bits of engineering there, a few more troops just to shore us up with the DDs. Not that that's really hugely impactful, but we'll send them straight over, and let's finally get going. But it's always a but when we say let's finally get going. What we're going to do is use the fairly new aerial bombardment or strategic bombing strategy. So go for new air from, I always forget which base it is, from Cookton. Go with the Liberators, and we're going to use 4 2,000 kilos general purpose bombs there. Not 2,000 kilos, that's a bit much. But we're going to go for, actually we're going to go for Cape Gloucester, because we can make that just about. I'll be right at the end of our fuel supply, but we're going to go for that because it's a level 5 airfield, and you can bet the Axis powers are going to, use exactly the same tactic against us. We're also going to go for Lie because that brings out a fair amount of fighters. We're going to send some Hudsons over with 2 general purpose. There we go, 1,000-pound bombs. Forget the Allies work in Imperial. Used to working in metric myself. Let's finally press go, and we're going to get the notifications ready to launch out more planes. Now as we enter the radar, there we go, we're going to see some enemies out. If we get that engagement, that's not going to force it, so they're not too worried. We lose one of these Hudsons, return to base. So you can see, if we bring that to the centre, we didn't actually reduce the airfield power there. We have to get the integrity from 100 to 0. And that happens, of course, with more general purpose or HE and heavy bomb loads. So what we're going to do is guess out some more Blenheims. We'll probably lose more Blenheims than we did Hudsons. That's okay. We'll just go for 2 standard 500-pound bombs there. Lovely stuff. I'll try and catch up with a bit of the chat. Ally Kido Buto, that would actually be quite fun. We do get access to a greater variety of carriers, you know. There we go. Sorry, I was just looking at the chat there. I've not got 2 monitors, so I've got to look completely away. So we see a lot of fighters coming out here, but to be quite honest, if they're not going to force an engagement, I don't mind ignoring that. They're going completely past us. So let's see how the integrity stands now. I didn't do too much. That's absolutely fine. think we get Sunderlands from over here, don't we? They're fairly heavy. Yeah, two £1,000 general purposes. Let's go straight over to Lie once again. Max speed that. We're going to get a lot of notifications as we're ready to assess about more flights and more of these interactions. That's absolutely fine. Just about at the end of our tether here. 93 kilometers left, but bang. Did lose a few of these. You can see the integrity is just down to 9 there. We're going to have to hit that with something else, but that's absolutely fine. We can work with that. Yeah, we're just making more contacts over there. You see they're not forcing any engagements. But we'll bomb this once again. That still hasn't done anything. Integrity is 72, so that's okay. That's okay, we can deal with that. I think what we'll do now is just get to the next day, because we're very close to not having any air engagements out. Seems to be a lot of chat about where the mods come from. That's interesting. I did see something about on Reddit about a mod like that, but I really don't know. So, now that it's next day though, we're going to get out some aerial scouts in this area, aren't we? So we do actually have some good endurance on the Allied scouts, but we don't need them to go too far. We'll get out some from Algeria. That's some okay endurance on that. That'll do for now. Let's see. We also want... Oh, Seattle doesn't carry... it carries Kingfishers. Just looking in the wrong area for that. We'll move this over here so we can see better. I think we'll just come out over... That's a little too wide for the endurance. That will do. And we'll wait for a reset on that. That's all good. Let's send out a couple more. Probably send out a radial scout as well. I'll tell you what, we'll send one up the length towards Guadalcanal, and we take from King George. I didn't want to go exactly there. We'll just send that out a little bit further and wider. Send out a few from Santa Cruz. Buffaloes, could do. I mean, they're not going to have the great... Oh, they have some fair endurance. Yeah, we'll send out a couple buffaloes for now. Just be a little quicker. Literally just a couple, so that we can defend ourselves if need be from Santa Cruz. It's a very nice addition actually, because usually it's just float planes from here. There we go. How's the integrity looking at Lie and here? I think we bombed Cape Gloucester once again. How many Sunderlands do we have? 3. That's all good. Let's go straight on over there. We'll keep an eye on that as well. So currently nothing much is happening. It's a bit of a slow start with this game. Return to base here. Look at that. Integrity's just on 3. I thought it said return to base. Must not have clicked it. There we go. Do we have anything fairly heavy over here then? We've got some Hudsons. Once again with some general purposes. Straight on over to Cape Gloucester. Come on. There we go. Bang. Finally down. So that's reduced their capabilities there. Brilliant stuff. Love to see it. Just see a little less bother from the enemy. I do that because I played a little bit as the Axis privately, and the first thing I saw was Allies sending bombers straight over from Milne Bay and such. I was expecting the same thing to happen immediately. Yeah, we do see a contact from Port Moresby, so that's ample time. We send out some Hurricanes to deal with that. That'll be the first engagement, and that should be fairly damn decent. While doing that, I read what you're saying. It's great to see so many of you here. Thank you very much. That is absolutely brilliant to see all of you here. Made my day. But we haven't made contact with those planes just yet. Let's just fast forward. There we go. Now we did have also fire on. See some flying cigars. That's absolutely brilliant. It's a nice little redesign, actually, and a remodel in this mod. We're going to get some good cinematic shots. They're quite the altitude, though. Just fast forward a little to make that altitude. We can see some more in the distance there. Okay. This is quite the dedicated bombing raid, actually. Quite the dedicated bombing raid. We're still trying to climb to the correct altitude. Even see the defensive turrets there having a bit of a twitch, which I think they were static in the base game. Don't think I've seen them move before, and I'm loving the new visual and sound effects actually from this mod. It's much meatier. Listen to that thud behind the Hurricane's guns. The fighters intercepting the bombers are broken, so that's why they weren't doing it. Okay. Alright, that's good to know. It's good to know. That means free bombing raids for now on our side. Can we get some shots in here? No, on top of that already. There we go, lovely stuff. Absolutely ripping them apart. So they've not stayed in good formation. It looks like actually we're doing okay here as well. Usually I find when you set yourself to automatic or dogfight at will, it just flits about. It takes quite the time to actually find an engagement. The game seems to struggle when it comes to the 3D plane of aerial combat. Let's get a nice picture of that. He's trying. He's smoking on one of our Hurricanes. Yeah, I only care that people have fun with them. That's really what matters. But it does come down to whether things have been used without any credits and such. Yeah, bombers always spawn high. That's how it should be. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, please look for... Yeah, yeah. Was that the Allied Edified task force? Was that a suggestion? Sorry, I missed that. I'm not very good with... not very good with spotting things like that. But yeah, please do put in... Even for the supply convoy, put in some names for the task forces. I go very boring with task force names. It's always Task Force 1 or Attacking Task Force. You know, major supplies, minor supplies. It's very boring. I'm not the most creative person when it comes to that. I think that was the last plane there. Yeah, it's 12 out of 12. That's great stuff. We'll keep these Hurricanes airborne, though, and active. Just in case we see a few more planes about. Keep them a little closer, though. So, we'll land with our supplies and then reinforce if need be with Task Force 1 here. Was that another encounter? We see some fighters coming after our scouts. Let's see if that... no, I was expecting to be intercepted there. Yeah, he suggested it. Nice one. Okay, well, we'll call it Allied Edified for now. And if people can come up with something decent or something nice, a little more flavourful. Is that moving? Yes, it is. But we're not on top speed. Port Moore's been ready to launch, that's okay. But we're coming towards the end of active aerial operation time, which is great because we get to come under the cover of night with our supplies. And that should be in range now. Let's pause. Unload all cargo. Very simple. Right, so we've not launched with enough troops to start with. Plenty of supplies. That's okay. It's absolutely fine. We have troops on Santa Cruz. We do have 2,000 troops on Santa Cruz. That's going to be shorter than... Yeah, but it's only 10 hours shorter. We don't want to go all the way down there. I want to pick up some more engineering if possible from the new Hebrides. But we do have some troops on this task force, so we'll send them in quickly. We might get intercepted by some aerial raids there. Okay, and we'll unload all cargo now. And it's not going to change much. 700 more, it's all good. See what happens over the course of the next day. But I think now we're going to push up over here and get some scouting with our float planes a little further into the open water. Yeah, there's nothing really going on, is there? Not a lot at all. So what do we get? Oh, it's coming up the end of operational time anyway. We'll send out some scouts from Milne Bay, I think, to scout out around here. Okay, so yeah, we'll send out some stuff now. Really, really quiet. I think we send out a couple bow fighters armed with perhaps some rockets if possible. 2x2 will be fine. Just send some out there. I'll wait to be told we can do more. There we go. Let's see. More over here. It's really, really empty usually, and at least my previous plays, it's been a lot more active. We see some planes come out trying to get our own scouts there once again, but that's about it. Then again, this game does like to... there's a lot of planes coming out. I wonder if that's from just these bases. Actually, it might not be. If we scout down here, some of those planes were coming towards the open waters. Supply convoy should be called Beans and Bullets, or call it Marines Uber Service. Tell you what, Beans and Bullets is actually quite fun. We'll call it Beans and Bullets. I didn't capitalise that, and that's going to irk me. There we go. Lovely stuff. Are we in range to pick up just yet? No, we're not, but we do see them. Where the hell are these coming from? They don't have heavy bombers in Guadalcanal, do they? They might do. There might be Donrus. It's okay. Well, we'll send out 12 Lightnings. It's the only correct course there. Coming straight for our home base. And encounters from Milne Bay. That's just more fighters. Okay, it should be right on top of them. Yeah, it's random every time. It really is. This game does like to stay quiet for a bit, though, I find, and just send everything at you at once. There we go. What do we see? Oh, there's only some Mavises. While they're only Mavises, though, they do carry quite the heavy load on them. It looks like our also fire has actually gone fairly intelligently. We'll just speed that up while we get into range. Oh, they should be easy targets. It's just important that we spotted them on time. Yeah, 2 downed already. Lovely stuff. Love to see it. They're going to try as much as Mavises can to evade. To be fair, they've got a few of our lightning smoking already. It's a bad habit. I hope everyone's had a good day, by the way. Mine's pretty much just been waiting for this stream. I've had to send my girlfriend off to work. We both had a week or so off for birthdays. Let me take a sip of my drink. I think that's all of them now. No, there's one more. Got a couple of lightnings on its tail. Look like it. There we go. 3 at once. Got to go down. There we go. Very, very quick indeed. Well, we're going to have to keep these active. There's only 6 Mavises. We might just have to bombard Guadalcanal, you know. That might... We'll see what happens when we scout out around here. But bombarding Guadalcanal, we retaliate. We can retaliate in just a second. There we go. With our own flying fortresses. Now, what's the Payload 2000 general purpose. That's not going to make it though, is it? At that endurance. No, that's absolutely fine. Can we do slightly lighter? I forgot what it was. That's probably just about make it. But I think we'll just go with standard single 2000 pounders. But I'm really wondering, because I don't think all of these fighters are coming just from these two bases. Which are new in this mod actually. Encounter with Loire, that will be this one. That's a standard fighter. That'll pick us off. No, okay, interesting. This mod can be pretty hard to play, but it's awesome. Yes, it absolutely is. It can be very difficult actually. Like I said, the AI does get rather aggressive. Rather. It'd be much more difficult though. I know it's just a very quick problem. Probably be sorted soon. But yeah, with these planes not actually engaging, it's not like you're, as the player, going to force an engagement with that, is it? Unless, I don't know. Oh, we're over here now. I nearly missed that. There we go. We'll take that. Took a half of our losses, but 53 integrity. It's okay. How are we doing at Renault Island? Need reinforcing? It's just reminded me there, we do actually have some troops to pick up. I tell you, we'll pick up 2,000 troops, 2,000 supplies, and some more engineering again. Pick up some more supplies as well, because those burn down so quickly. So quickly. And that'll take another 36 hours to get there. But we're not seeing anything, so I think we send our ships, actually, because we have a heavy cruiser and a battleship, to shore bombard Guadalcanal. New Hebrides is able to launch aircraft, that's absolutely fine, but we're at the end of aerial operation time once again. Yeah, I'm on the 0.6 patch, most up to date. Should be getting there just as everyone starts waking up actually, so we should see perhaps some bombers come after us. Ah, there's something around here. Melissa's just been taken by the enemy. Alright, we need to be very careful. I'll tell you what, let's send out, of course, a scout. If we want to be careful. Send that straight over here, back down for now. That won't be on a recurring trip, actually. I don't want that to be on recurring. We'll just send that in a circle for now. And if we have another spare out from the King George, that can counter that circle for now. It's not guaranteed those will spot them. Let's have a quick look at the weather. Not looking great. Not looking great at all. They might even have come around here to the north. So let's try that for now. And yeah, we bombard here. Lovely stuff. That looks like it's reduced something. Reduced the port level at least. Now that uses HE weapons and armaments. So bombard that once again just for good measure. And I think we also go a little more northerly out here to the strip. Maybe we'll catch some supplies if we're lucky. I have no idea where that enemy fleet would have got to then. King George ready to launch aircraft. Here we go, more planes out of here. But we've just launched them both fighters. Where are they going? Where are they going? Okay, they're going to go about here, I reckon. We're going to lose them, but we're going to scout in a bit of a box. I really do wonder. Let's just go into tactical very quickly. Let's see if we can pick up anything. It's not very likely. Give that a couple seconds to work through. Not been the most active start, has it? Not been the most active at all. nothing about. We're out of fuel with that group. That's just a little bit weird that nothing's happening. Suggests to me that the enemy is in fact coming from over here. So we'll launch out a couple more scouts, just a couple. Over in this area, and we might send our group towards there. See some fighters about. Milne Bay ready to launch is fine. That's interesting. Going back towards Guadalcanal. Axis being very stealthy. We should be able to take Renner Island very soon. The balance of power is fairly even, so we'll tip that in our favour more decisively now, which is brilliant. Shore bombardment, don't want to do that. Can't do it. We come back once again over to the New Hebrides, pick up more engineering and such. By that time we should be able to get some fuel out as well, and that's much better, much more in our favour now. I think later on I might want to change that to a level 3 port as well. Okay, I think we send this group once again to the gap around Guadalcanal. Counter from Milne Bay, more fighters. More fighters. There's fighters going down towards the south here. That's interesting. If we send out some Hudsons maybe, with some general purpose bombs, maybe we'll find something, but we just don't know. That's a very big maybe. We send out some bow fighters with rockets as well. Very quickly. Yeah, they're definitely coming. I think some of those are just overshooting us though. Overshooting our island. Yeah, they're just scouting us out from their island bases, aren't they? That's a shame. Turn to base. And return to base again. Where is the enemy? I know sight is currently poor with storm brewing across the area. But this really is terrible. They're really not at all active, are they? We might have to go closer to their own territory. We have seen they've been doing things. They've taken Melissa for themselves. That doesn't just happen out of thin air. Okay, air operations available once again. Let's just pull back the tiniest bit. So I've got a bad feeling we may have missed something. Countering the Cairns. There we go. There we go. That's more like it. They've hit us in the backs. Okay. Well, we've got a level 5 airfield very nearby. What we do is... I think we send out rocket bow fighters to begin with. Over here. Did we have anything really massive? We had a couple Hudsons. Couple Hudsons are going to have to be at 2 £1,000 armour piercers. We'll send them to the side for now, because the Cairns are now ready to launch out. Oh no, they're not. So I was looking somewhere else. Cookton. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that. Can't wait too long, mate. They're going to invade us. 0.2 hours again. And there we go. So, Liberators out with all of the bombs for 2,000 pounders. Thank you very much. Even though it's only denoted as a heavy cruiser, we've got to expect something a little more, haven't we? Bringing the Hudsons a little bit closer. And there we go. Finally! Let's see them. Nothing massive, but it is an invasion group. What do we see? See a hospital ship. See German destroyers. Come on. See, it's Shimakaze, by the looks of things. Oh, we see a Deutschland. That is brilliant. Excellent stuff. Okay, well, the common sense, really. I mean, that can bombard us. But we need to stop an invasion, really, don't we? So go for the this ship, and the Aratama over here would be the better ideas. We do have bow fighters to hit these. So we'll group these up very quickly, just for order. Let's go for a Vic. And I think we come in. That Deutschland should not be too much of a bother AA-wise. We hit this one first. Liberators, they're going to have to go for the Deutschland, aren't they? So we hit that, form them up. Once again, they're going to have to come from the front just because they have such a heavy payload. It all needs to hit something, doesn't it? And the Hudsons can come from the rear and they can hit actually a not the destroyer. Not the destroyer. They only have 2 supply ships, which means it's not the greatest of invasions. I made a typo in encounters, yeah, fair enough. Does happen. Does happen. Yeah, it's good to see task forces don't actually cheat in this mod. There's one thing this game is lacking is like true challenge. While it's a fair simulation game, it's not a good strategy game. There's no strategic depth to it whatsoever. It's not really a secret. It's not at all deep. It's nice to use the expanded arsenal mod, and I do very much enjoy it. I think it's made quite well, but it's very nice that it makes the AI act a little more aggressive, and we've buggered this up because we need to reduce our altitude for rocket strikes, so we're going to have to turn around and try again. Just reduce our speed so that we can actually turn there. That means we're probably going to lose a couple of these on the approach. How are supply ships not full to the brim with AAs? That's a good question, to be fair. It's an oversight. Okay, so we'll manually turn this round and increase the speed a little. Liberators and Hudsons are getting closer. We're going to have to think about actually targeting the graph space soon. We'll reduce our speed here. Alright, there we go. Now we can increase speed. And it's as good an angle as we're going to get under AA fire. So we attack with the bow fighters. And with these, we're going to increase the speed a little bit now. And we're going to break an attack and hopefully completely obliterate that Deutschland. Just keep an eye on the mini-map for the Hudsons though, because we do still need to actually tell them to attack properly. Should be fine to turn it off for this quick rocket attack. Masses and masses coming out there. So, we reform the bow fighters. And just tell them to come to the rear. Should have dropped with these, yeah, we definitely have. So, I think we'll tell the Hudsons, they've still got a little bit of time actually, haven't they? Ah, you're joking. I did tell them to attack. I did. Okay, that's cool. Sometimes I've got a bit of a habit of completely forgetting to issue the orders. And there you go. There you go. Sounds like the Aratama Maru is sinking. And that Deutschland was hit by a massive amount of bombs there. Let's turn these in and tell them to actually break and attack now, so we don't have to worry so much about that. Let's reduce the speed of these. Yes, and that is sinking, as it bloody well should do with that amount of bombs hitting it. It's a bit of a shame. I'd have loved to have caught that in a surface engagement, but they forced it upon themselves. No good similar games such as this. Rule the Waves and Ultimate Admiral are good. Yeah, you're not wrong. Rule the Waves, it's just not for me in terms of style, unfortunately. We have dropped, haven't we? Find out. Find out. As much as I like playing more in-depth games, it's far too much of a database starer, is Rule the Waves for me. Did tell them to attack, didn't we? There we go. So that should do it. We could strafe down the destroyers with our bowfighters. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Not the worst of ideas. Then we can completely obliterate this group. We'll give it a go with the Shimakaze to start with. So once again, before we forget, let's reduce our altitude. But a lot of our planes are smoking, clearly heavily damaged. And that's because we fluffed the first attack. Oh, another sip of my drink. And that's the a medical ship sinking. That's brilliant to see that gone. So, fairly nullified attack here. And I think even if we sunk one of those ships, the AI I've noticed does like to retreat when you put on a little bit of pressure. But we can fast forward here and bring in the bowfighters. Yeah, bowfighters do shred destroyers, you're right. It's a very good pastime of bowfighters. Tell you what, though, we will focus this German one for now, simply because it's closest. And hopefully spend a little less time in the Arts of Fire. Using the binoculars is a little strange because it's inverted one way and not inverted the other. We'll keep a fairly medium speed when we're strafing, just so we get more shots on target. Two-engine heavy fighters absolutely is the way. Using a lot of, let's say, British-Australian assets in this campaign, simply because I'm too used to using Americans, to be honest, and well, they're good, absolutely serviceable, very, very good in a lot of cases actually, and the American ships. But very rare, because of that, I very rarely see the Allied things. Missing a lot of shots, not quite the exact angle we're looking for. Just keep ourselves steady there. Let's take a quick report on that. So that is heavy to minor. I think we'll just encourage that a little more then. Get a little bit of distance, reduce our speed to make a tight turn. Yeah, in both fighter anti-shipping duties, there's just something about it. If you can execute it fairly smoothly as well. So let's say the enemy are in a line. If there are a little more spacing between these two ships, you can do one attack, one strafing run on one ship, pause very quickly, regroup, level out your altitude, and immediately attack again. Probably get away with it here. But I think we'll just do things a little more methodically. That's going to be... Oh, very nearly a crash there. Very nearly a crash. Just keep us a low altitude so we see extra explosions on that German destroyer. And I think we just try and level out here. I think we'll probably hit that Shimakaze once at least, and we'll see what happens. We do still have a fair few bowfighters left, but I'd like to see a few more. But surely that German destroyer's going down. I mean, look at that, the list on that, the fires everywhere. How could it not be going down? There you go. Let's take another report. So that's heavy to minor and heavy to none. Right. Ricey, ricey. Well, we're losing both fighters left, right and centre, aren't we? I think that'll probably be the end of those strafing runs, but it might just hang about a little to see what the damage we've done. Accumulates to. Yeah, lead wall, absolutely. Big kamikaze with these two. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see, that crash towards the German destroyer here was just not quite close enough, was it? Not quite close enough. We do see some good fires now on the Shimmer. Very nice fires. Tell you what, it's going to be a long process this, so we will just increase the speed. But if these fires die down... There we go. Oh, that's not dying down. That's another explosion. So very nice indeed. We'll just keep the both fighters in range to maintain spotting. They can actually lower their speed to remain in range a little bit. Got lucky with the bombing. Yeah, I certainly did. Certainly got lucky. Looks like the fires are dying down on this ship. But they're getting more aggressive on the Shimakaze. It's probably a bit of a spoiler if anyone's going to watch my video on the weekend. But I did a couple bombing runs against a few... Ooh, look at that. A few major ships. And let's just say the majority were... duds. It's very frustrating when that happens, but in all fairness, when you're sending so many bombs at one target, I would just move the both fighters out, that's fine. Let's take a quick report again. Yeah, heavy to moderate. Probably let them get away. Give it a couple more minutes. Magazine passing, yeah, absolutely. Very thirsty now. There we go. Lovely stuff. Bloody hell, 37 people. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I was a bit scared this was actually quite the late time for people to join. Because it's late for me. But due to my working hours, I'm up all night tonight. Back to work tomorrow. So it's a great way to celebrate. It's doing a nice stream. Seeing everyone here, thank you very much. That has made my day. I do very much appreciate seeing everyone. Just hope I can provide good entertainment for you. Yeah, that Shimmer. Look at that. Refuses to go down. Apparently it's been very cold below decks recently. They've had enough of the bad weather that's been accumulating around the Solomon Sea. So they thought, bugger it. We'll deal with the heat here. That's absolutely fine. In fact, I think someone's got some marshmallows tucked away somewhere. Start roasting them. Get a barbecue going. There we go. As soon as we press fast forwards, there's explosions to enjoy. Always the way. I'm forever missing cinematic shots of magazine explosions. Hello Evil Sawboss, good to see you, but we've lost sight of that because our planes have left the area, but we then get the message that the number 5 is sinking, which was the Shimakaze, so that's all good. Clearly the German ship was not going down, but 8 command points, a very minor fleet, but very integral defence there, because that was right on top of the cairns that came out of nowhere. Let's see exactly, we could have defended that, because we had 3,000 troops and 6,000 supplies between 2 supply ships and a couple of destroyers. That would not have been a very meaningful attack. But what that does mean for us is we should certainly be more wary of the open waters around here. Start scouting once again. For those of you who are probably just joining, this is a look at our current task force. Buffalo sighted something up here. But just before we start, once again, we covered King George, good amount of destroyers, some of them English, our French heavy cruiser, and we have a Seattle light cruiser. Very fun indeed. Let's see what this is and mark this up before we lose sight, actually. We'll mark that as heavy cruiser for now. There we go. So Single Buffalo has sighted a minor fleet. Okay, an Agano light cruiser. A little, that looks like a Mutski to me with the torpedo layout. And we have a Hatsuharu tail because of the single #2 turrets. So that's not too bad. We can leave that for now. I've got nothing really major to deal with that. The closest thing would be float planes from Santa Cruz. And float planes are just too massive to really hit that, aren't they? If we had bow fighters or lightnings there, we probably would. Cookton's fine. Scouting. It's going to come to an end in a few hours. Encounter me on Bay's more fighters, just overshooting us again, I think. Okay. Well, it's going to be day 7 tomorrow. Oh, that was torpedo bombers. It was marked as torpedo bombers anyway. There's probably some new planes that get marked as torpedo bombers, perhaps. Let's move over here. I've got a feeling with them sending so many planes towards Milne Bay, it's a little bit suggestive, perhaps, of an invasion over there. You never know, but that's why I've got to check. Only one way you will know. So at midday today, we should get more command points. I was hoping to have had Reno Island by now. Seems like invasions, at least on this mod, a little more fierce and take a little bit longer, but we should be getting 127 command points, which will do us very nicely indeed. Have to get a couple fuel tankers out for that. So we want to upgrade this island, don't we? We're going to take it soon. Counter Port Moresby's, more fighters. Once again, more fighters. Yeah, they are coming from the nearby bases. There we go. We have our area through. We do now control Reno Island, which is great stuff. So we pick up a little bit of engineering and fuel, really. Let's go. Manage. We're not actually in range there. That's all good. We'll move forwards and pick up 2 oilers, depending on how much they can carry. Now we want a fairly speedy oiler where possible, as fast as they can go. Ashtabula's not bad, 110 for 11 points, 15 knots for 180. I forget the speed of these actually. We're gonna have to come back to that. They were British actually, weren't they? They were Camerons going at 17.5. Okay, not a problem. Because of course you can only travel as fast as your slowest ship. So we go back over here, and it was Patapsco was the fastest, wasn't it? Cimarron, actually that's fairly cheap for its capacity and speed. We'll take 2 of those, please. Not too much point in overloading. Won't even be able to carry all of it at that point. So we'll send this off, and we have a lot of command points remaining, so that would mean a second task force. People could put in a suggestion if they want. Would you prefer an air, or prefer a carrier, or just another standard surface task force while I'm sourcing this out? Be very much appreciated. Can have an input. No reason to have a single voice this stream. Could take as many supplies as possible as well, actually, on that. If I do take a standard surface group, I think we'll send it a little more northwards out here. Take this one and Urge. Lovely stuff. Carrier. One person saying carrier. Patrol fleet, yeah, yeah. Well, patrol fleet and carrier, they're basically the same thing, aren't they? I mean, you can put light cruisers with them. Rakata Bay, that's up here, so we certainly need something around that area. I mean, they're certainly going to pull back to Rabaul, aren't they? Maybe we can probably intercept them, supposing they go or don't go around the north area to Rabaul. We're going to push up anyway into the enemy territory. Carrier from Darth Vegan, sounds good to me. I'll tell you, we'll go see what, because I think we get access to British carriers. Let's go fleet carrier. So we do get the Ark Royal. A cost of 64 command points, but so swordfish, they're not bad, not bad. Good torpedoes on them. Former fighters. Decent fighters there. Do we get anything further? We get albacore torpedo bombers, hurricanes. Okay, okay. Do get a later version of the Ark Royal, but that's reduced variety. Lustrous could do. Hornets are not bad actually. Do like a good Hornets. Wyvern torpedo bombers. Okay. What would people prefer to see? Can you drop troops at unoccupied bases in this mod? You certainly can, and I should have done that a lot earlier. In fact, I usually like to take this string of unoccupied bases, to be honest. So that's probably something we can do if we put in some destroyers with this carrier group, actually. Yeah, that sounds like a decent idea, because we'll push up with the group here. I'll tell you what, I'm leaning towards Illustrious at the moment. Malta's not looking bad. Certainly not bad, actually. Malta 44, but we'll have to wait for that. We'll have to wait for the first Malta as well anyway. Just to have a look at what else we do get later on. Implacable, Colossus, and Audacious as well. That's very nice indeed. But I was looking at Illustrious. Your new task force should have an escort carrying a few destroyers with anti-air and anti-subs. Yeah. Do we get British? Yeah, we get the Hermes. See exactly what they do get. That's more fighter base, swordfish. Yeah, you know what? That's not bad from attacker. It's basically another Bogue though. So I'm gonna go for the Illustrious because it looks good and that gives us a lot more points to play around with. I'll tell you what, we can just change things up the tiniest bit and go for. This is really going to be for anti-submarine purposes. So we do get, of course, on the Van Ghent, we get. Don't get any depth charges on the Van Ghent. Oh, we do. It's just squished in. Okay, so we go for Van Ghent. Go for 40 of these is decent. 40 depth charges on there. No need for a French destroyer because they're more about anti-ship capabilities, and so are the Soviet ones. I think we'll just go for a couple simple American DDs now. We'll go for Farragut's usually decent. Yeah, we'll just go for 4 of those and we can put them in a decent formation. So if we go for something like Convoy, just with the amount of ships, that's not great. My go-to is usually Battle Line, but that doesn't really work at the moment. Circular's going to be good, that's alright. So I think carrier's going to have to be 1. Yeah, it's just going to have to work like that. We manage supplies, we go for 100 here, 100 here, 100 here, 100 here. That's to very quickly capture some of these islands, not necessarily to hold them permanently, but we'll send this out here to start with, and that'll work quite well. Let's carry on. Now we do have 28 points remaining. We could go for a submarine, but I like the idea of saving it for now and see if we can get perhaps some more heavy duty ships out. Gotta go, not a problem. Thank you for joining, Darth Big. It's been great to see you here. Thank you very much for joining. Do appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. Let's see if our scouts pick up anything. What was that? Encounter me on Bay is more planes, but they're coming down here. That's interesting. Can we follow them? We should do. Let's come out with some bow fighters. Don't need to arm them with anything. Let's just follow this general path to begin with. I think they're just overshooting us though. Yeah, that's just overshooting us. Let's come around here again to make sure there's nothing really happening too horrible. Counter Milne Bay once again. Not too sure what to make of this really. Enemy seems to be popping up in places exactly where we don't have any scouting. Looks like they're sending some bombers over. Is that actually going to hurt us? I mean, it'd be too late to find out. That certainly is going to hurt us. Well, not much point in doing anything there now. We could chase them. I'll tell you what, if we chase them, but we can't just yet because we've been bombed. But that seems possibly be coming from Buka. Oh, I've run out of airtime anyway. That was a bit silly. Should have intercepted that. Love the vids, thank you very much. Glad you enjoy it. It's going to be very risky, so we're going to just bring this group over here and this group a little closer because we're going to very briefly detach our destroyers to pick up these 3 islands. So we don't want our task force here. Once again, if you want to name this task force, please go for it. It's not a bother. I very much encourage it. Otherwise, I'll just name it Illustrious so we know where it is. But we split here, and we'll go for this island first. Go for New Georgia. If we manage cargo, land 100 there. Keep that tab up because we're going to use it very soon. Keep an eye out. Yeah, that's going to be another bombing run here. And we will defend this time. Have a lot more waypoints than vanilla. Yes, you do. But I've got a bad habit of not using them. What do we have? What do we have? Kates armed with bombs. Right, that's why then they're marked as torpedo bombers. That makes absolutely perfect sense. There's a lot of them. This is not from a nearby low tier base. 9 current Kates. I reckon that's from an aircraft carrier. But why have we not scouted it out? Is the question. We've got to assume it's an aircraft carrier. There's even more out now. And we know Kate's are carrier based. That's very interesting actually. Is that even more? Even more? They've got to have a massive fleet carrier out somewhere. Why are we not scouting this? Is the question. We have a fair amount of scouts out. I think the idea is then to launch from our carrier single flights of fighters, and that would just widen our net really. Hence there is a carrier. Yeah, well there must be. I mean, look at all of these things. There must be a carrier. I'm just absolutely amazed that we haven't managed to scout it yet. That's just a little better. We're not following them so easily. Lovely. Do we have anyone on the back of this one? We do. Anyone coming for this plane? We've just sent someone there. I hope that's clear enough for him. Going off by the mini-map. because once again we're going to use a 2D base to judge a 3D plane. Just plain sailing from here with quite the walkover. So I'll watch that Kate in particular, because we see 2 of our planes. In fact, that's 3 there. You gonna get it? Hey, there we go. Little scratches. There we go. Teamwork. Brilliant teamwork. And that is everyone. So we can retreat from there quite happily. 9 total Kates that was. So we can use the rest of our fuel just to go in a straight line quickly and follow their projected course. But Illustrious certainly needs to make use of its massive stocks of fighters here. I'll just double check exactly what we get out of the Hornets. Do we get some low tier and heavy tier bombs? Good rockets as well, so we'll keep those by ourselves. And our torpedo bombers, very heavy juicy if we want to use bombs as well. But we're going to give ourselves a little bit of carpal tunnel as we go one by one here. And they don't need to be very long range scouts, do they? You do have to play on this mod to actually reset your loading times. That's all good. That makes sense, to be fair. Let's stretch out here again, just so that we do have more in the area there. Okay, so that's looking like it's going to the Shortland Islands, that plane. But we'll double check. If we send out over here and just stay a little bit outside of their radar range. It's not stopped them before though. Double check we're still getting closer to the base there as well. I think we'll just send out 1 more for now. And that can go... that can go a little further over here. Okay, let's send those out and see what happens. And unload a little bit of cargo. We should really pause if we're going to be sweaty about it. You go straight over here. Counter in Santa Cruz. That's more planes. Right. Righty. Well, we'll send out 2 Catalinas armed with a couple general purpose bombs, and that means if they sight anything, they might be tempted to hit it. We'll just send those out for now. We can increase that later on. Counter Santa Cruz, that's just those fighters again. But why would there be fighters all the way out there is the question. Alright, we'll unload the rest of our cargo here. And we join back with the carrier. We're going to push up, I think, with the Kido Pusai Task Force. And we'll just refresh these so we can see that they are ours. Still no sign of that supposed carrier. It's probably in this blank area here then, if that's the case. Let's merge these. No AR logborn, certainly. Yeah, all payloads are historical. That's actually good. I did not notice that. So we did say that, I mean, considering it's a carrier, it's not the greatest idea to send that by itself, is it? So we'll push up over here and send out a few more scouts in this direction, I think. Once we get closer. We've made it over here again. We need to be in range. I completely forgot about that. I was thinking about a possible carrier. That's okay. It's just a little bit of time wasted. Beans and bullets unloaded. It's great stuff. We can go to Renault Island. We'll upgrade that to a level 3 airfield for now. And we use the rest to get level 1 port to increase our radar range, defensive capability, and get that on the way to level 3 ports. There's a lot more focus on getting command points for upgrading your bases as well with this mod, which I very much like. We're at 1810 now, so we're not going to get any more planes out. So wait for the next day, I think. Or we're going to have to. So I couldn't catch this. What mod is this? It's the Total War mod. Just simply Total War mod. Been recommended it by one of the modders very kindly. We've been enjoying it. So we'll just send out some scouts, I think, to this area. Because there's literally nothing else going on. They're coming out of nowhere, apparently. Let's see. Just send one in that direction for now. What we could do is use Renault Island. That should get some decent scouts out, actually. We'll send out some fighters in groups of 2 over here. Renault Island ready once again. That's okay. Counter Port Moresby with more fighters over there. Fighters everywhere, but not a carrier in sight. Oh, missed that. Press the wrong button there. That's okay. We can live with that. Port Moresby once again. Really suggest they want to invade this, but I mean, where are their ships? Where are the ships? It's day 10, and we've seen a total of what, 5 ships. I think we just send this group over here. The Illustrious can come around as close air support. The next invasion goal was going to be one of these islands, Kirowina or Woodlark, or even go for Renasa Bay, or Rakasa Bay, sorry. So that we do get forward scouting with the radars there. So let's see what troops we have over here. 1.9 thousand. I'm not going to leave it at that. We'll wait till a resupply before we actually get anything. They'll find you nowhere. Yeah, certainly. I'm sure they will. When I played the Axis, I've been fighting battle after battle after battle, with very serious task forces as well. A lot of battleships. I wouldn't say the scouting is exactly bad either. We have planes everywhere, but just not happening. Just going to sit in the middle of these straits and blockade Guadalcanal. Really tempt it out, I suppose. How long have we been going for now? A bit of time, only just over an hour. There's some fighters. It's always fighters. It looks like they came from Guadalcanal though. 2 more days to a resupplied. We do actually have some fair troops left over on Renault Island, but the enemy once again is aggressive. We'll just keep picking up from New Hebrides really. We can use these bases as reinforcements if need be, I think. That's how I like to play. Defend with reinforcements is the way to go. Oh, very cool. Hello, Numbers Letters. Good to see you here. Don't spill the beans. There's not much point in moving about, to be honest. We're covering a lot of ground with our scouts. I think the next task force that we've guessed out has to be another surface task force, and that can increase our float plane scouting even more. Tell you what we could be doing though while we're idle is getting this engineering and fuel over to Renault Island. We should have been doing that a lot earlier. Idling is very much a sin in these games. Just do that, refresh that. There we go. We don't have a lot of engineering, but we'll take everything we can. We leave those supplies as they are, so we'll just come round to the fuel. Actually, do we need a lot more supplies here? Should be just about fine. I think bring 1 load of supplies round, just so we have some left over later on. We're going to get resupplied soon anyway. It's not a bother. That's all good. Lovely. More fighters. That's likely from Shortland. Yeah, they're going back now. Yeah, that was from Shortland Islands. Okay. We'll push up towards them, like so. We could bombard the Shortland Islands, you know. It's a level 2 airfield with some decent radar around it. Wouldn't mind keeping some of this HE about though. Does come in useful sometimes. There's no massive need to at the moment. Not seeing anything too offensive come out. Lavella, fighters, once again, likely from Guadalcanal. Comes to the New Hebrides. They're trying to bomb our homeland once again. We can't allow that. Send out the lightnings. Wouldn't mind getting a surface battle in, you know. Have been resupplied as well, so that's great. So we'll think about another surface fleet. I think for a surface fleet, I want to go fast battleship. So we'll look at the British fast battleships once again. Going British not for any reason other than they're generally fast and we don't see them very often in this game. Always keep ships moving. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's a bad habit I have in all strategy games, just to be idle with armies and navies and such. Really should get on top of it. I've been playing Age of Empires recently, and now my biggest weakness is getting units out the gate and keeping them idle. It's very terrible. Can't climb the ladder with idle units. Sorry, getting back over the chat. Miguel Monte asked, what does the Total War mod include? Well, it's a lot of ships is the most obvious change. But it also changes, crucially, how the AI interacts with you and how it's... what's the word for it? How it behaves. So it's a little smarter, doesn't cheat, actually invades your islands more often. We're going to go for... What was it? Battle Cruiser. Renown's not bad. Certainly not bad, and it's cheap. Cheap Renown. We get two of them. The Renown and the Repulse. What else do we get? Just different versions of the Renown, of course. So, I mean, most modern would be great. So we do get Admiral, so we could get the Hood. That's going to come down to its own specs. So, Renown 41... is the same speed. In terms of armament, it's 6 381s. The Admiral is 8 381s. This one gets torpedoes, though. And how often do you see torpedoes on a battleship? Not very often is the answer there. In terms, then, of radar and protection, the Admiral's actually a little better in terms of protection. And to be honest, I think that's what I want out of this. They're both the same speed, 32 knots. Let's go for the Hood. Famously not the most well protected. We might as well go for both, you know. If we're getting the chance of finding nasty ships, we might as well go for both. And that would be a disgusting battle group ourselves. Let's go for some destroyers. I like the idea of going for perhaps an Icarus. It's got some fair torpedoes despite them being short range, get some decent amounts of depth charges, dual purpose guns, you know, standard destroyer things really. It does only get 4 guns, but we'll go for that. Let's try and change up our things a little bit. The Arun's not bad, absolutely serviceable. It does come with some more firepower. Let's go for one of those. Watching our costs here. I'd like to go for a minimum of 4 destroyers, really. If we're thinking fast, we'll go for a Vauquelin or Le Fantasque. Not exactly bad. They do get sonar, of course. They do get depth charges. The torpedoes are very good range, actually, so that'd be very good. Let's get out 2 of those. Why not? and something a little heavier on the cruiser side of things. I want to go for maybe an American light cruiser once again, because American light cruisers are generally just fairly brilliant. We don't have a lot of anti-air power, so in Atlanta it pretty much has to be in Atlanta, doesn't it? We get one of those. We do have some spare command points. Try Tribal Destroyer for, yeah, it's not a bad idea actually for battle group. Please apply the patch, yeah. I'll apply the patch soon. Not going to do it midstream. Let's see. Oakland won't be available, certainly. Cleveland, I find that just runs out of ammo too quickly. St. Louis is always decent. Should be fine for that. That'll do for this group. That will do for this group. And we certainly send this northwards. Seeing some Colomagara, the fighters. You have it disable launch, not a bother. See, they've upgraded there. Do you see Cape Gloucester increase its radar range? They've upgraded after we've bombarded it. So I want to get, let's get moving down once again to Guadalcanal, because that makes me think I want to think about upgrading that, really. If we get many more supplies out, yeah, we've got enough. Got enough. Let's unload here and return once again to pick things up. How is that looking exactly? Actually pretty damn decent. We upgrade that once again, and yeah, there we go. Lovely. We've got some troops and supplies left over as well. So that's a brilliant looking base now. Very good forward base. Let's get out some scouts while we can. We didn't actually see... It might be a bit stuck for that. The St. Louis is the only one that can send out scouts. Should have thought about that earlier. That's okay. It's only seagulls as well. Alright. Wow, a blind fast battle group. Is exactly what you want. Does anyone have any name suggestions for our fast battle group here? Send out one a little longer range as well. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Our escort carrier is painfully slow in this mod. It depends which one you choose, really, as ever. That's why we're looking at some British ones, because they do have some decent speed. Again, it really depends, because you can get the Japanese fleet carriers, like the Kaga and such, and they reach like 30 or so knots, don't they? Circle round Guadalcanal here. But yeah, with all this scouting and not a lot of surface fleets about, apparently. I really do want a surface engagement about, otherwise it's going to be a bit flaccid, isn't it? Just as we say that. Just as we say that. So what's the enemy done to get around here? They've come from Rabaul, travelled, what? Here to here, all the way through here, outside of our radar, and come down like this. Well, okay. We'll just have to send in the B-17s, the Lightnings and rockets once again. Actually, send in some Havocs. Do we get rockets? No, not in this mod. That's absolutely fine. Lightnings, of course, is historical, so they won't. Okay, we'll send in Havocs with some armor-piercing bombs. And we'll send in B-17s as well once we're ready to continue. I don't want to go with just one air group just yet. Are we ready? 0.5 hours. Just watching and waiting. There we go. B-17s with all of the bombs. 2 1.6 thousand APs would be great. Slit right past the blind... Yeah, exactly. The blind task force would claim that. Ah, dear. There we go, in range now. We'll all be good. Who would have thought slit right past the blind task was quite a decent bloody task force here as well. This would have made for a decent surface engagement. So we see a couple Japanese destroyers behind a German and... Ooh. I'd have to double check exactly what that is, to be honest. It looks like a pre-refit Mogami. Interesting. Let's see. We have it's either a heavy or light. I can't tell from the off, but it's a German cruiser for certain. I can tell you that much. Let's have a very quick look and see if we can make a more educated guess, because it could be a mines. If we look at the profile there, that does have 12 150mm guns. Let's see. But if we go to heavy cruiser. Let's see, if we go to something like a Hindenburg, they might have to wait for that though. It looks like the funnel structure is the tiniest bit different. Let's go back to CL. Hipper, rune. Do you think it's a rune? Is it a rune? I wouldn't have said so. I thought runes were, because it's got 4 gun turrets. I thought runes had 3. Yeah, they've got 9 shooters. To use a technical term. Hipper, I thought Hippers had 8. It says 8 there. Does a refit have... it's got a lot of decor on that. I'm thinking mines. I'm really thinking mines. It's not a Leipzig, that's for sure. But over here, that's more, that's either Nuremberg or Königsberg. Let's have a closer look. Well, it's not a Königsberg, funnel's completely different. It's not a future one, so it's a Nuremberg. Okay, well, we'll identify that. Just target it. And we have a Kuma torpedo. Yeah. Kisakami, of course. Oh, you love to see them. Just on principle, we can't hit this. We can't hit this on principle. We need to hit this in a surface engagement. So, what the hell is this task force doing right outside of our headquarters? Yeah, just sink it and see the enemy losses. That is the only correct answer. Well, we're going to prioritise the German cruisers then, aren't we? Let's split the... Oh, we've got bombs on all of these. Let's just group up like so to begin with. I should just do this, really. Like so. Bring these... We're going to do some... not exactly lower bombing, but we don't want to be extremely high up. We can come from the broadside with the B-17s. The Havocs... No, what we'll do is we match speeds for... Go very slow, actually, over here. Come from the rear. Go very, very slow with the B-17s. And the Havocs can form up, of course, once again. Increase the speed to max because they're going to come around the other side. Like so. And the plan here is perhaps to skip bomb at low altitude. So that what we'll do is we'll use bombs completely conventionally, of course, and use an almost hammer and anvil, whereby we attack from different sides, and if any missing bombs, skip over to hit the other ship. That's the plan. Just imagine seeing all those torps launched at you. Might as well just scuttle your ship right away. You're not wrong. But it would be a very proud scuttling after being hit by something like this. So I can never look at this ship with a straight face. So did we? Yeah, we put our altitude down very, very low, but we're quite fast, quite far away from them still. There are more than enough of them, certainly. B-17 skip bombing, yeah, and they've got more than one bomb per plane. Look at this, the natural flight path of a B-17. Yeah, I'm just trying to guess. When we do things like this, it's very difficult to fight simultaneously, or an attack simultaneously. So the B-17s are going to be sitting idle for the minute while the Havocs get around into position. They're going to come wide just because of the amount of AA they can send. Just looking through, yeah. Okay, so those Havocs, I think we can slow down their speed for now, just the tiniest bit, so we can get the B-17s going straight for the enemy. Increase their speed for sure. We get to 189 knots is absolutely fine. They're currently at about 13 knots. The Havocs are much closer, so we slow those right down. Right down. And we just stay out of range very quickly then. Because the B-17s are very, very far away from their target. We stray far too fast, max speed them, so the Havocs don't have to worry too much about being within the enemy's range for very long. So just keep an eye on that. Once we're roughly similar, we're getting close with the B-17s. Okay, yeah, now's probably the time to move in with Havocs at a much greater speed. Let's say 206 there. Reduce it just below 206, I think. So 197, just a random number generator. B-17s with 90% damage negation and 5 health. Yeah, there's definitely, there will be hard to get down with that. They got a slight recolor, have they, in this mod? I think they're a little darker, aren't they, in the main game? Havocs pretty damn decent though. Same as we're in TCE and such. Okay, so the only mistake we can make now is forgetting to tell our planes to actually attack. I think we'll just come out here a little. Okay, so yeah, break and attack now. And this isn't the most ideal angle with the B-17s, is it, unfortunately? But that's going to have to be a break and attack, I think, there. Love to see it. Let's move back a little, see what they're doing. All of that's AA we've got to fly through. But we're going to drop. Couple hits onto the rear of the ship there. Look at the B-17s coming in there. Have you ever seen a B-17 fly so low? Oh, I love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Bees, of course, will lose many, many planes on this attack. But you've got to do it for the factor there. So how many? We have 4 Havocs left. Would have been tempted to bring them round for a strafing run, but it's not going to happen, is it? On 4 Havocs. So just keep them in the area to remain scouting. Keep sights on. Enemy did lose that Nürnberg. Watching this one. Got a bit of a list. Very concentrated on one end of the ship. How often would B-17s use in naval bombing? Yeah. Do you have to open the bomb doors? You do if you decide to attack manually. Otherwise, if you press the attack order, the planes will do it, by themselves. In time for bombing, of course. Yeah, I would have done it manually, Costaz, but I've really got no practice with this, and I would have missed despite the volume of bombs we sent out towards the enemy there. That would have been a guaranteed miss on both accounts. Let's get a little more comfy in the chair. Like to fidget. Well, we've sent this to a stop, complete halt. It looks like we've hit something else here. Did that skip over? Let's see. No. Must have had a plane crash into it, is the only thing I can think of. We've got some fires on it. Very nice fires now, actually. Yeah, I'll let this work over. Last thing you see, 12 B-17s flying at 30 meters. Oh, Neptune. The problem with skip bombing is it hits a side instead of the deck. Yes, of course. It doesn't penetrate through quite so easily. That was why it was used, for the dam busters, wasn't it? It's there you go. So that's still sinking, of course. How are we looking on? It's critical to critical, so that's a good chance it goes down. But I have seen things survive damage like this. I remember in one of my videos, it would have been a couple of years ago now. One of my Congos, was it mine? Was I playing as Japanese? Quite likely, but Congo escaped with its front half completely lost to a forward magazine explosion. I had to send that back to the dockyard, of course, but it lasted a long time in that battle after losing its forward magazine. So it does happen. Oh, it's certainly more accurate, yeah. And in that case, if it is more accurate, then it's the volume of bombs, the amount of them, that counts. Sometimes you've got to think outside the box. And use your bombs a little differently there. We're going to just fast forward for this, because it's going to have to go down. Hit again, we've got Havoc left. Yeah, we do, we've got 4. It might be worth trying. It's not like we have to give up any resources. Which ship was it that got hit there? That's number 7 got some sort of hit. It's number 8 that's on minor and minor, but it's got over that now. Could hit the light cruiser, of course, if we think it's a light cruiser. I mean, it's away. Let's bugger it. We've got nothing to lose from this, have we? Let's try and hit that again. Always bums me that you bomb ships, they're dead in the water, but still move on the campaign map. Yeah, I understand that completely. I've had that quite a few times where I've torpedoed battleships, and it's clearly drawn them to a halt. So it's hit their engine room quite badly, and they really should be completely dead in the water there, because the game makes a point of damage being persistent from battle to battle. Why can't that be the case on the strategic map? It's a simple question. I don't know, maybe there's something, I don't know anything about the coding of the game, so a very random guess. It's probably something you have to manually detach ships from a fleet. I don't know. But the problem with strafing here is we have to do it from the rear to minimise AA coming at us, and well, clearly They're sailing half a ship there, aren't they? We'll move in and approach at full speed, but we'll lower our speed as we get the tiniest bit closer. Yeah, I think we lower it now to about half. Give them time to decelerate. Attack. Yeah, see, already lost one. That's why I was a bit hesitant. That should be okay. We're getting some hits. There we go. That is... yeah, that's going to have to be it for the Havocs there. Hopefully that encourages it to go down. Oh, well, there we go. I lost everything there. Well, we can only hope that gets scuttled, really. Give that a few more seconds. Faking damage to lure me in. That would not surprise me, you know? Yeah. Okay, well, fires actually seem to be subsiding a bit there, so I think we'll leave that for now. It's critical to critical. We should be able to launch out more planes fairly soon. We do still have 0.6 hours to wait. I'll keep these planes active though. For now, just because... oh, that's not good. Right. There we go then. Well, we found something. Let's just double check our formation because we're still in line ahead. Let's go... convoy's not exactly bad for aerial protection. King George in the centre. 5 and 6 I prefer to have destroyers anyway. So swap that. Put that to 3, I think. Let's see. So 3 there. 4 is going to be a destroyer. 7's the Seattle. Don't mind that. Yeah, I should put the Seattle onto the number 4 side. Should just be this aerial engagement. That's another thing actually. There's not even any submarines about. Now, they're definitely activated as far as the game's concerned. So smoke up, light up, full speed, and we're gonna have to start turning away. Make a port side turn. What do we see? Mavises with torpedoes. So it's, you know, haven't intercepted them from a possible bombing run. They're definitely going for us. But Mavises, they're slow, they're big, they're chunky. Now, one thing I don't understand, since we've got the modders here, is it constantly comes out this message, you know, a certain ship does not have ammunition type available. Well, we have used HE ammunition, but you can see it definitely has a loss in the secondaries there. We have it loaded up into the main batteries as well. I'm sure it's just a weird error message, but I don't understand it otherwise. Black ammo, right. As a sub, would you put your scope up with all those planes in the air? I mean, oh, they're sending in fighters as well, are they? Interesting. I mean, it's quite overcast. The visibility's not great. You've got the waves of the sea crashing against you. I'd probably put the periscope up. They'd be very difficult to spot you still. They'd have to be quite low altitude. Are we going to get a collision with this Marne coming round? I'm going to keep turning with this then. Marne, what's he doing? I think it's stabilising now. Who are we shooting at? The Mavises? Definitely the Mavises. Do have zeros on the way. And they will hurt our destroyers if they get extended fire on them. Press fire at will, it's on manual. Yeah, normal fire at will is, but also fire flak is on. Or is that just because... we'll give that a go and see what happens. Seems to have stopped the messages. So we're dealing with these okay. As we should do, they're massive targets. This Marn is really undercutting us here, and it's really tempting a collision. Right, so we're going to wait for these zeros to come in. What is going on? I think what's going on is I've got where are we? Evade hazards on, and that doesn't recognise that formations need to move in formation, really. Okay, I'm going to break off with Seattle. Full speed out of there. Straight line for now. Cummings can actually form up with that. So we do line ahead here. They can just follow each other out rather than actually collide. Says. Marn, I mean, that's fine now. We're ahead of the game. Might have to broadside out here so we get a little more small arms against these. I wonder what they're going for. Obviously they should go for destroyers, but I've seen zero strafe battleships before. Don't know why. Oh, that was a very good flak shot there. Where do we see them? What are they going for? Yeah, see, they're going for the King George. I mean, let's have a look at that. Got a turret. That's the worst thing. It's the most armoured part of the outer structure, surely, or one of the most armoured parts. There we go. Now they're going for the Jervis. Didn't get too many planes on target, though. That's okay. They're going for the Marn here. They're going for the King George again. We don't have a lot of small arms in that area, apparently. There we go. So, are they just going to one pass and retreat? It's quite likely. Clear the smoke away. Yeah, I think they're just one passing and retreating, so I think we can get out of there. Issue a retreat order. Yeah, but as I was saying, we do have enemy subs active as far as this campaign's concerned. We've not seen any of them so far. I'm quite happy for that. We had a loss of King George before actually finding a true surface engagement with it. That Marn really wants to start a collision. I understand it's trying to find its position in the formation, but that's very, very risky. Time coming up 2 hours. Give it a little long. Stop. No. Come on. Stop. 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 We'll be able to leave very soon. But yeah, let's leave now. That was a close one. See what I mean? Okay, well, we could probably expect to see more enemies coming out of it. Can we launch the new Hebrides now? No, still got a bit of time to wait. Counter with Walrus. More of these planes. Looks like the enemy's retreated from here. There's nothing out just yet. Let's launch out some lightnings. Just as they are, because we can strafe down some ships there. And we'll try and see if we can get anything there. Probably should have sent the unarmed planes now to scout out. But... so that really must have come round over here. There we go. So where are they going now? Yeah, they're retreating now. Well, we're going to hit them because they should have that really heavily damaged cruiser. Form up with the lightnings. 17:20, getting quite late in the day. Yeah, okay, so come round, strafe this light cruiser and get out, really. See that? What we could do, that's moving at 4 knots. We could probably actually give that a little bit of time. Give that a little bit of time to get separated from the group. Surely they're going to leave it. Surely they're going to leave it to die. No? Destroyers maybe zooming off? Okay, no, they're going to stay and try and protect it. Okay, let's just go to normal speed now, reduce our flight speed, turn in, as ever. Very standard practice. Yeah, you can press attack from here. I want the surface engagement though. Do we lose a plane there? Quite I'd have said a bit of a disappointing stream with no surface engagement. Look at the amount of planes we lose on the exit there. That might have to be the only strafe we do. Bloody hell. We need to form up though. Another one down here. That's the only somewhat effective strafe we're getting. Let's see how that's standing. Still critical to critical, as it should be really. Set some more fires and hope they work through, really. Yeah, see some fires midship rising up. Let's bring these planes around so we don't lose contact there. I want to keep watching that. Take another sip of my drink. And I want to see exactly what this is as well. Like I said, check the enemy losses tab when this, if it goes down. Again, 1720. If this doesn't go down, it's we should be able to get one more flight out. We'll probably send out some Mitchells with bombs. So we do really send that to the bottom. Yeah, because that's getting on top of the damage there, isn't it? We're going to have to retreat out and send in some Mitchells, I think. Is probably our best bet. Come on. It's very sad to see. That's really teasing me now. Okay, well, we'll try and keep contact. It should stay in our radar range. How long do we have to wait? We can send them out immediately. That's good. We'll send out Mitchells then. We could send out rockets, but I mean, why not just send out a good handful of bombs to really punch through there? We'll assume they're going to move, of course. We'll send them out over here. They're trying to retreat, weren't they? Encounter at Renault Island is fighters. Counter with the Walrus is fighters as well. Okay, let's send this. I think they were trying to really go a bit more northern, weren't they? Just send these out as well to scout ahead. We're going to lose... Yeah, we've lost flight time now. That's a shame. Get away! Not happy with that. Yeah, been invisible for too long. That means we can actually bring back our supplies over now. Should be safe. Dreaming of the day we do spot something meaty outside of or within striking distance of our ships though. Come around to the Shortland Islands, scout around here. And we're going to load up. That's fighters at Vela Vela. Should be able to load up some invasion troops. Should we? No, not quite in range. There we go. Lovely. So not going to be the heaviest of invasions with only 2,000 troops. That's okay. Load up a handful more on our destroyers. That's pretty much going to strip us bare. Where do we want to attack? Well, I'm thinking Ricasa Bay, really. It's either that or Woodlock Park. Or Woodlock, rather. I don't know why I said Park. Let's go to Ricasa. It's not a lot to say, really, while nothing's happening. Let's see. Let's come out once again back over here. It is night time now. Let's take another look. So, just as a refresher, we've got that one group. Oromaru, Shimakaze, Aratom, Deutschland Heavy Cruiser, and the Nürnberg. Why do I get the feeling they might have slipped past us though and gone towards Milne Bay? You have to keep this task force out here though to protect beans and bullets. Reno Island, planes. Right, more planes. More and more. That's coming from over here. There's an enemy carrier right on top of us again. New Georgia's fighters. Now the next day. Lush Lucy for the illustrious. Yeah, go on then. It's a very nice name, actually. Very good. Thank you for that. Make sure supplies and troops are at least even. Yes, I'm pretty sure I did. We'll find out now, I suppose. Milne Bay, more fighters. A lot of fighters coming out. Santa Cruz is going to get bombed. Well, we can't stand for that. Send out some buffaloes. We get a little bit of distance there so we can climb up. What do we see? Oh, okay, so some Donryus. Actually got a bit of fighting power against our buffaloes there. Got some pretty decent defences. You see on that pass, we're smoking already on a couple of the buffaloes. Donryu's apparently being very manoeuvrable as well. We're getting on the back of anything. Do we need to change orders about maybe? What's you actually targeting with this one? I can't even see. Number 3 is over here. Right on top of it, that one. Can we change the speed down to get the tighter turn? Just on the back over here. Are we actually in line to get any hits? Not just yet. See another buffalo here. That's in line. At the extent of its range, though. Yeah, that's going. Got one over here. Looks like they're completely split up. You can see on the map. Really gone away there. They're faster than us as well. Just seems to be powering away from us. So down one. That's just out of range. Over here, if we don't down this soon, we're going to get hurt by the defensive power there. think we're just at the extent of our range a lot of the time here. Buffaloes, there we go. Told you, because there's another one down there. So it's equal losses now. Let's send, because these buffaloes are never going to catch up at that speed, send them over to these two. Definitely at full speed. To be fair, the Domrus do have a good max speed. Just because they've powered away, we might actually get bombed, you know? The carriers on top of you try to track the fighters. Yeah, that has crossed my mind. We saw those Kates previously, didn't we? But unfortunately, we couldn't track their previous position. But these fighters, I think, it does look like they're coming from enemy bases. That's just sending everything from each base at once. We might have to retreat out here. We're only losing distance. It's ridiculous. We might have to. That's very, very unfortunate. Domru's apparently able to outpower our little weak buffaloes. It's not in range. That's a bit sad. No, I'm pretty sure the Domru is... because you can, when I'm using it, you can really power through. Only losing the one plane there. I'm just going to sit on top and keep an eye, but I think they'll be able to bomb us before they become visible again. Oh, what's this? We see an enemy surface group. Imagine that. Well, we'll mark that for now, just as a general group. Push straight for it. I'll tell you what. There's an argument to keep that actually visible there, but it's going to take 5.6 hours to get there. That gets relatively less, but we'll go and see exactly what it is first, eh? Where are you? Where are you? There you go. Look at that. It's it's a very minor cruiser group. They got a Sendai. Where are we? A Shiratsu and looks like a what do you call it? Minakaze to me, perhaps. Could be Wakatake. Let's have a look. Let's have a look through here. Let's go to. Could be one of these. No, it's not one of these. No, let's go to DD then. Certainly not a Momi. Looks like Minakaze. Wakatake's got one less gun. There we go. Yeah. Well, that sorted that mystery out. Well, finally, we might be able to catch those with this task force. We'll go straight over, see what happens. Yeah, we can't even see that group now. They just bombed us before we were able to find them again. That's a shame. They didn't actually do any permanent damage just yet. Should be okay to survive that. Both fighters spotted something though. Oh, they're coming out now, aren't they? Let's mark that once again and see what we got. What's that? 2 hours of playtime? And it's another minor cruiser group. We see a Yubari, a German destroyer, and a Fubuki. Okay. Well, we can move in for that, can't we? Fun and engaging there. Might as well send this task force out there. That's probably only a home patrol group, though. See, invasions do take quite a while. We've only just defeated in total the troops at Reno Island. And that's after upgrading our power there as well. Countering Cookton is planes. That's interesting. Why would we have seen fighters that far out? Send out both fighters with just for the sake of endurance and such. We'll send out some bow fighters with rockets and see what happens there. Keep them on returning, I think. Reno Island, we see planes. Alright, so we're probably going to have to come a little more southerly over here because we're not re-engaging those ships. We'll just bring this down over here. I don't like... That's too far away. We're going to be able to engage this under cover of night, though. I don't think we're quite in range. We'll try Swan Low, but I doubt... Yeah, it's just not going to happen. We need to get around. There's the tiniest island blocking that base. There we go. Unload. And we retreat. Well, we could take the risky route and come through here. Why not? And we might come to Reno Island and see if we need to pick things up. Yeah, we're equal there. That should go through without issue. Might pick up a few more troops though, just for the sake of insurance. Yeah, of course we're going to lose those. I think this was just a home patrol group over here. What we can do is push up though and try and find that. With this group, we're going to want to move it a little further, actually out here. Maybe that can look through Guadalcanal and such. Love the War on the Sea content, thank you very much. Being a bit... Oh, look at this! It's completely evading us. Okay, well, we're going to assume that's too large to deal with, but we might be able to deal with that on the retreat, if we're lucky. Yeah, we can't do anything too nasty at the moment. Hudson's are going to have to come out with 2... massive AP bombs. Let's see. Can we get out quick enough before they bombard and invade? Gonna be pushing it. There we go. Right, so that's gonna have to be Beaufort's. I think. Do they get the torpedoes? No, they don't. Right. It's gonna have to be Blenheim's then, I think. Though there are just more. Oh, we do get torpedoes. Just misread that. That's my fault completely. Yeah, torpedoes will do the job. Well, we're certainly in range here. Let's go. Yeah, lucky guy 3 times. I don't understand it. Do not understand it. We got the blessing of terrible visibility, so that's going to have something to do with it. Let's just group up the Hudsons. So what do we see? We see... once again, a fairly minor group. Actually, no, there's more over there. Okay. So, Sendai... Japanese destroyer escort of some sort, perhaps? That's quite big for a destroyer escort. We see another one of these. We do see, I think that's a Königsberg. Right, okay, we see... ooh. The hell is this? Is this a Hayate? Might be. See. That's a Momi. Most useless destroyer. We're going to have to bring the Hudsons around though. Oh no, we've lost contact. Alright. Well, let's just move around. Move to the centre. We've got some Beauforts which aren't in groups. Let's just bring them all in a group at the moment so that we can control them better. Going to have to reduce that altitude with, I think, both flights because visibility is 27%. So we'll come down to just below 1,000 meters here. I'll just fast forward to this, there's not a lot to watch. I've completely forgotten bearing on that now. Beaufort spotted at 140, I want to go more towards this area really, don't we? Well, I'll pause there. Should have issued move orders to begin with, really. Yeah. There we go. Got there in the end. So what do we actually want to hit? Well, Sendai's a nice target. That's always an easier target. We will reduce the altitude the tiniest bit for the Sendai. But we'll still bomb that with all of the Hudsons. We're going to want to split a little bit, but we don't want to go through too much AA power, really, with our torpedo bombers. So I think we might actually have to hit the Kitakami here. So we go for, let's say, 4 for the Kitakami, if they break, and 5 for another ship, perhaps. Let's see, maybe even just this tiny little ship. I'd love to know what that is. I think we might have seen our destroyer escort. No, it's looking like... No. How many guns does it have? 3. That's definitely not it then. That's a... Might even be. I've got a feeling that's a... Definitely not this. That's a little better. That's only the 1 gun. No, certainly not any of these. Does anyone have a good idea of what this is? What am I looking at? Got a feeling that might even be... No, it's not going to be any of these. I don't know, we'll find out soon. It's a CL? Oh, right, yeah, okay, okay. Right. Gokusei. Oh, there we go, Castle-y. Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. We'll just identify it there. At least someone knows what they're doing. Right, so that can go for the Castle-y. You can go for the number 5 over there. You... I think we can actually get away with quite a low altitude bomb here. Just increase the speed a little bit with this one. That's going to have to go a little bit further. And we've got to reduce the speed now because we've overshot this. Then brake and attack if possible. That's going to be very tight though. Oh, they're diving down anyway now. That's all good. We can't rest on our laurels with that. We can't watch that exactly. I want to brake and attack here. And we'll do the same here. Now we can see what's going on. We're just about to drop him. Completely missed. Lovely. Not a bother. Not a bother. See, they're still skipping. Should have done that manually, but that's okay. Can't get everything. No needs to be a walkover all the time. We do drop with everything here. Let's grab... just grab these and form up once again. That's okay. We're dropping here. We're dropping here. Great stuff. Losing some on the exit. Our torpedoes are passing. They're passing under the Kitakami. Now, to the untrained eye, I should have known better than to torpedo a Kitakami, which sits so low in the water. Or sits so high in towards the surface. I managed to hit, excuse me, I managed to hit a destroyer with torpedoes previously, only today on my own playthrough, and that shouldn't have really happened. Yeah, we don't have a lot of these Beauforts left, do we? I was wondering if we might be able to strafe something, but with only a few of these, and Beauforts don't really have the frontal firepower able for a strafing run, do they? Below 700 meters, the planes also skip. That's good information. Actually, hadn't worked that out before. We'll get a good explosion there. There we go. At least one's sinking. I don't think with Beauforts rather. It's great for scouting. I'm losing my words now. Strafing. We're just going to have to leave that, I think. See what happens with the enemy there. I don't think, you know, so close to our base now, that's enough to force them to retreat. Not much point in keeping these out either. See what happens with that. A fighter has spotted something which possibly big. That could be very interesting. I'll tell you what, we'll ignore that for now and see where that's moving. Carry on to the Walrus. That's that again. Okay, are you returning to base? You are. Yeah, let's just see exactly what's happening with this. The bow fighters don't need to be on returning. We'll just keep an eye on that. And yeah, it looks like we're going to go straight for this. That might still just be bad weather though, because in the morning we can see it's a storm. That might be that small cruiser group. You can see we've lost sight on that already again. Okay, well, let's go into tactical and see if it's still there at least. Yeah. And there we go, yeah, still that's minor cruiser group, so it's not a battleship, which the bad weather got in the way of that. We do see some zeros out there, so it might as well give that a go. They're going to get on our backs, I think we're going to lose this fight. No, I didn't know. I didn't know bad weather was bad for skip. Well, you know, worse for skip bombing than otherwise. To be honest, I see it. Obviously, it makes sense. But I thought, you know, bad weather. It's going to be bad at 1,000 meters as well as you know, low altitude. To be honest, I made myself sound very stupid like that, but. Well, we'll carry on for a little longer. I was really hoping, to be honest, for quite a massive service engagement. I've not been disappointed in my own playthroughs, that's a problem for that. Oh, you can't get that on the edge there. I think, you know, Zero's got the better turn, don't they? So we're going to have some problems here. Trying to keep up and just double check the chat there. Yeah, well, I think we won't need this for much longer before we finish the stream. Down there. Depending on whether we get actually a pretty sizable and decent surface engagement is what I'm looking for. Very much hoping for. Scout around Guadalcanal, make sure our supplies are that bit safer just in case something's happening. I'd have expected them to land at Port Moresby by now. Curse that, jinx it. Comes for the Walrus, once again fighters. Yeah, enemy troops landed at Port Moresby. But that's really not too bad, as you can see. We can certainly deal with that, we can let that go through. What it comes down to is just better scouting around that area, unfortunately. Yeah, you can see they're retreating now. I'll let them go. If anything, just so we can probably catch them with our group here, to be honest. As effective and useful as aerial attacks are, sometimes you've got to do the job with a nice, decisive surface engagement. Let's bring this down. We'll come through here, try and catch that through if that is where they go. Yeah, I just don't see anything even down here. It's rather disappointing. Okay, do we need reinforcements for Casa? It's advisable, isn't it? So yeah, bring these in a little closer and pick up. Counter me on Bay once again, but needs to just cycle through this. We're not in range anyway. There we go. There we go. Well, it's 2 in the morning, so we can't do anything about this. Can only hope to catch this on the retreat there. Look at that. Bang! Big bang. That is something we need to reinforce. Absolutely. I mean, oh, it's going to have to be from here, isn't it? Gonna have to be from here. We take 2,000 troops and all the supplies we can eat from there for now, and just try and reinforce that. Hopefully, we might even be having a night battle on our hands here. Let's pull up over here. Watch that. Full steam ahead. This really will be a blind engagement. And because we lost sight, we're going to have to manually enter tactical mode here. Wish us luck. It's nothing. Oh, why can't we? No. This is silly. Can we only manually enter tactical mode during the day? That's a bit silly. It's actually rather annoying because that's going to get away now if that's the case. It's not long until the daytime. Like now. So let's have a look. That's very annoying. Let's turn on our radars. Righty. So, if there is something out here, we have radar and we do have walruses. There we go. Ooh, an Italian. Lovely. That's an Italian big boy battleship. What else do we see? We see an IJN big boy battleship, and of course the suppliers they're protecting. They do of course have some sort of, well, they have a tonne. Lovely. This is a very difficult. It's not exactly what we're designed for here. Okay. Well, let's get moving our walruses over. Maintain contact there. We'll just move a couple over for now, and let's get identifying some ships and moving our own, of course. So we go max speed for now. Let's move out over here, overcut them, and we identify number 1. So that's certainly Italian. And it's a BB. That's the wrong button. Righty, what do we think? Conte de Cavour? Possibly. Is there anything that helps us out here? Possibly a later date? That might actually, that's even looking more like an Andrea Doria there. Let's see, what's the gun number? 10. That doesn't quite add up. Does it? Yeah, no, it does add up. I'm being silly. That's looking like Andrea Doria there. What sort though? Possibly just because of the paint job, the standard one here. We'll try that out, I think. Yeah, it's nothing else over here. Okay. So what are the stats and loadouts of that? Well, it is 10 305s. So they're going to hurt our ships, of course. Definitely. The armour could be better, could be worse. Let's hold with some AP for the minute and get out some spotting secondaries then. Range is 19.5 kilometres. Let's get a destroyer of some sort. Let's say the Jervis firing out some spotting shells over there. Just do full spotting for now. Let's see, Algerie. We've got a better chance of just focus firing this for the moment. Let's just hold, get our guns into position, fire out there. Seattle can start peppering. I don't recognise this off the top of my head, actually. Let's just cycle through once again. Certainly not Issei. It's looking like a Tulsa. Guns aren't quite meeting that though. I don't think. There's nothing like this. Nothing huge over there. What's the number of guns? Could be... It's not exactly an Issei. Certainly not. Really not too sure. It's not a Nagato. Certainly not Nagato. Oh, it's not going to be Yamato, is it? Let's see. I'm just going to say Tosa for now. That's looking quite bare, actually, on there. Bugger it, we'll go for that. And we'll just get some shots out. If we don't get a decent solution on there, that'll be fine. Let's just start firing out. We can probably get some torpedoes ready, I think, from a possible Jervis. Is that going to start firing at us already? Have they spotted us? Doesn't appear so. Usually the AI... There we go, now they're moving towards us. Lovely stuff. Okay. Now we can fire out, now that we have our guns aimed at them. Let's go. Yeah, they're getting on now. Okay, not quite got the angles with our forward guns just there. That's alright. Terrible solutions at the moment. That's okay. Well, the visibility is 32%. That's absolutely fine. Just need to get our star shells in the air, I think. Not moving at the greatest of speeds just yet. We'll see how long it takes for our shots to get out, though, of course. Might try some manual firing. There we go. That was fairly accurate for such a low solution. Do we see if they're getting closer? Well, they're firing star shells out at the moment. Cross their T quite well. Okay. Jervis. Well, the torps aren't going to make that range, even if they are closing in. Just not going to happen at the moment. Okay. Napier, you're not going to do too much for that at the moment. We just need to get our scouts in range there to spot the rest of the formation, don't we? Looks like they might even have lost sight of us there. They realign their guns. Oh, we'll take that then, won't we? They'd be very, very happy for that. Okay, well, let's just hold once again. I quite like the chance to get some manual volleys out. Righty, so let's try and fire. I would say let's try here for now, see what happens. Get a full volley out with full broadside. It's amazing the enemy's completely lost sight of us. We just keep our distance then, and that'll work in our favour. I think it's only really working at the moment because we have these walruses and a bit of radar ourselves. Can't remember if this ship does have decent radar. We'll just slow down then for the minute. Okay, so let's see. Do we sight? What do we sight here? That's another light cruiser. Let's see. I would say it's a Kuma or, of course, Nagara. It's difficult to tell just from a simple, quick look. What do we see here? That will be the Tonne for sure. Absolutely Tonne. And that is firing out. Okay. So we need to get some more shots onto that, something which can actually hurt that. Let's take the Algerie over. Looks like not taking shots there. Let's take both directors onto Tonne. Hold there. And just get some secondaries there. We get the Seattle onto that as well, actually. Because it's not going to do too much against the enemy battleship, is it? Just make sure I'm moving that and just retarget it there because I don't see our guns re-aiming too much. Make sure we get on top of there. King George, get another manual fire out here, but I don't know. I think we obviously completely missed there. Not going at the greatest speeds there, 14 knots. Spotted a German light cruiser there. I think that was previous shots in the artillery. I really can't see where our shots are landing though. That's the thing, like, at all. There we go. There's some shots coming out. That was fairly close actually. Alright. Well, we'll keep at it there. Really is these big battleships need to deal with. So we just need to give it the tiniest bit more lead. Calculate a little bit for, because it's doing a very minor turn. Then we'll come back to see exactly, once we've done the shots, where the enemy's shots are landing if possible. Because we need to, of course, watch out for our own ships. Let's fire out here. Hold there, come back round. So, looks like we're still firing out at that battleship there with something. Need to get some spotting shots here. Algerie, how you doing? Need to fire out properly. That'd be great. Very useful. Do we see where the enemy's actually firing out? Let's still carry on with, I think, Marne as well with some star shells. That looks like it's taking a hit, actually. That's not just... Oh, that is standard smoke coming out. That's okay. It's not taking the grace. There we see a bit of a hit. Lovely stuff. Would love to get out some torpedoes, but I don't think they're going to be at a decent enough range, are they? We can start firing out at... Oh, there we go. Wrong button. At this Hatzaharu, I think, with a couple of destroyers at least. Let's identify that. Where do we see Hatzaharu? Come on, there we go. Yeah, we get the Cummings on that as well, I think. Yeah, it's not firing at anything. Let's get going. Jervis, you're doing much more. Still firing out star shells. Well, we've got Marne doing that. Let's cease here and just make sure we do fire out at Hatzaharu there. How are we going with this? We just keep firing some spotting shells out there. And we need to just change our speed and movement soon, don't we? Let's just turn in the tiniest bit there to get a decent broadside going. And they're firing out some things. That will keep their destroyers busy, at least. Let's just pull out, though. And just turn around with this walrus so we do keep some sight. Send the Kingfisher out as well on this one, because they're going to be pretty much idle otherwise. Yeah, I can see quite the argument breaking out in chat. Please, just calm down. It's going to do a little bit of policing and ask you just calm down, please. Take it to private channels if they do have a disagreement. I will be welcoming both sides of the story privately after the stream. If this does in fact turn out to be a stolen mod, or at least, you know, using stolen assets, then I won't be using it publicly anymore. I have to say that. I don't condone the use of stealing other people's products whatsoever. It's absolutely wrong. Especially for a game that doesn't, you know, take much support. The developers aren't doing anything, guys. You're not helping by, you know, stealing from other people. I understand you're trying to make things better for the game and add things to it, but it is possible to work together. But if it does turn out, and I do find decent evidence that this is stolen, I won't be showing it again on my YouTube channel. I just can't be seen to be doing that. I'm sorry it's come to this for those caught in between. Very embarrassing. Because otherwise this could be, you know, quite a fun mod. I think we're going to get some sort of collisions here once again. So we're just going to break off this Marne. It's got a bit of a mind of its own. It's not keeping up with the you know, formation orders too well. We're going to take off evade hazards so that moves a little better. The Seattle can move out as well. Just keep that going forwards for now. That's actually got some decent lines onto, well, it's aiming at the Tonne. But that tonner is moving away, and because it's a tonner, you know, it's not going to get any decent firing angles on us if we carry on with our current course. So we're going to get the Seattle, if possible, to cease there, make sure it moves its guns over, hold there onto the Nagara. We'll double check with the, I think the Algeria is firing, no it's not. Let's get on top of that Nagara again, because I was getting close, that might even fire out some torpedoes at us. Watch our solution for that, and we can turn it to a Kuma if the solution appears to be terrible there. But looking like we actually need to move out with the Algeria as well, because that's clearly too close for comfort, those shots actually, so we might want to just move out, turn around ourselves there. Napier and Cummings can form up in a line ahead and move out as well, just get a little wider. I really dislike that this UI is just a bit terrible. There we go, that'll do. That's what we're looking for. Want the Napier to lead that formation, line up, full speed there. Move up, possibly get into a torpedoing position. We'll see. So I was looking at the chat again there. I can't figure out if this has taken actually any hits yet, any decent hits. Let's have a look. Minor to minor, taking a few glancing shots on the King George. But we just can't get a decent solution. That's actually 0 on this at the moment. We do have star shells in the area. Looks like Seattle, don't know why, it seems to be struggling. It's break off completely, full speed, and we'll just slow down the King George, because that's going to get a collision there otherwise. So the glancing shots appears to have got right on the bow and a bit of a turret. That's absolutely fine. Actually, I think the turret we got strafed previously, didn't we, by zeros. This is just going to be better, I think, if we use manual firing on this. How are we looking with that Nagara? Let's give this some true movements. Maybe that can form up with the Napier and Cummings if we slow that down actually for now. Jervis, I think that can break off and come down here. Possible. Is it really doing much either? It doesn't. Can't figure out if it's firing. Let's just reset that. Might be because we got it on AP, but it does hold AP shells. So we're going to check how we're doing with that Algeria. Can't really fire out too well. But nothing's really happening on our side apparently. They seem to be firing out much more than we are. Let's increase the speed here once again because we're a sitting duck at the moment. That's okay. We'll say that's evasive manoeuvres. Let's try and fire out about here. It's a little difficult with this great range. Split force by the side of the enemy. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I think we're going to try and do that. The Cummings and Napier are actually going to move in for torpedoing positions at this area. Algeria can move the Jervis and King George, I think. Yeah, the King George can certainly move down here. We'll let that move at a somewhat slower speed than the Jervis. And the Jervis can take over there. But I just can't tell. We need to keep an eye on this. Yeah, so we're getting close. Those were clearly King George shots. Just need to do the tiniest bit more lead. This is going to be a long battle. Strap yourselves in. Something coming in there. I think that was secondaries. Didn't sound or feel like main battery guns. Fire out a little more over here. There we go. So that we're getting closer. Just straddling, unfortunately. So that's not too bad. How are we doing with the rest of our formation? We should really use the correct buttons there. But we're not actually firing, so let's get some spotting shells out there. That might actually help. Who would have thought? Once again, we are firing out with Algeria, but the solution's just terrible. Can't tell if we're firing out. It looks like we're firing with our rear gun against the Hatsahara on the Jervis. How are we doing over here? We're getting some solutions. Keep it on spotting because the solution seems to be quite minimal here at the moment. There we go. There's a fire now on this Italian battleship. The name escapes me. The Andrea Doria. So we're getting somewhere, and that makes it much easier to hit. So we're going to get another mangle shot out while we can. 6 knots, possibly declining. Let's go for the nose there. Yeah, that's actually completely stopping. We might have wanted to aim for the dead centre of that ship, actually, with that shot. Wait for that, see how that comes through, though. If we're lucky, we'll get some very decent direct hits. There we go. Lovely stuff. So, maintaining contact with our scouts is great. So that will hopefully distract their dual-purpose guns from their destroyers. That'll buy us a little bit of time. Yeah, there we go, just straddling there. Well, that's still maintaining 4 knots, so we're just going to re-target ahead of the nose there. And come back to have a look with our Marne is still moving fairly slowly. That's absolutely fine. So we move back here. Come around the side of the King George. Let's increase our speed. Reduce the speed of King George, let the Jervis move forwards. We do take a direct hit there, just a glancing one though on the back, that's absolutely fine. Firing us again against Andrea Doria, just as our previous shots straddle the ship once again. We were losing contact with some of these ships. We need to push in with our scouting forces, don't we? Because we've lost, or we do actually have contact at Nagara. The Tosa, if we think it's a Tosa, is firing at us. Let's just move back in with our ships there. Algerie is in range, isn't it? Yeah, it's certainly in range. Just not doing too well, unfortunately, in terms of actually hitting that and finding a solution. Let's move these on properly. King George still firing out the same position. We're going to want to change that a little bit, I think. Let's hold that because it is still maintaining mild speed. There we go. Oh, still moving around. Let's see exactly what it says on the report. Heavy to moderate, that's a good sign. More than they've done to us. Bring this Kingfisher back in. Yeah, Tono's looking like it's coming back around. That Hatsuharu, I don't think it's really under any decent firepower, is it? But we get the Jervis up here. If we can, I'll bring the King George down if possible. Come on, there we go. And get those to form up a line ahead, like so, with the Jervis leading, that will do. So, Jervis torpedo range is 9.6 kilometers. That really needs to push him. Napier will be very similar. 13.7, so that could hit something, you know. So what we do is we slow down the Seattle. That doesn't look like it's in any danger just yet. Let the Napier move up a little bit, and that can fire some torpedoes. Now, having said that, that Seattle is taking some sort of fire. Find some more straggling shots against the Andrea Doria. We are still moving at full speed there, so that should be fine. Just give that some good distance from our own ship. Yeah, 4.1 distance on the Marne's torpedoes. We're going to have to get within very, very close range there. See if we can start firing out against the Hatsuharu, though. That would be quite useful. Like so. I'll use HE. How do I do with that Andrea Doria? Does seem to be dead in the water. So once again, just narrow down our aim. Readjust it the tiniest bit. Go straight for its main body there. Yeah, I think that Napier's okay to fire out some torpedoes. Let's just hold, get them ready and waiting. I think a 2-degree spread, that's going to be quite wide, but I do want to make sure we try to hit something, you know. We're going to try it manually because we have a terrible solution on that Hatsuharu. We'll just go pretty much for the centre of their formation. Maybe they'll turn around with something. and go for that. You never know if that toast is going to move around again either. Now they're quite slow moving torpedoes, so that's going to take quite a while to get there. We're getting hits towards that Hatsahara is the question. Not too sure, but look at that Andrea Doria. Certainly getting good hits there. Seattle could be doing better. Let's start pushing that forwards now, because that's a sitting duck. Algerie, how you doing? Terrible solution once again. Maybe we can start firing that tonne. Let's cease there and target that tonne. That's actually very stationary once again, actually. Might just get out a manual shot just to make sure these guns are firing, you know. Let's get moving. And then we can change that to standard spotting fire afterwards, I think. So that's going round. How do we do against this? Okay, we're straddling that now. We need to readjust our aim once again. You saw how far behind that was. That's okay. There's a bit of patience. Let's go ahead. Keep re-establishing contacts. That's okay. It's all good. That's what we like to hear. We lost a Kingfisher. It's alright. It's alright. How are we doing against Tonne? Did any of those shots really come in decently? Been waiting all night for this. Come on, guys. We will sink a battleship before we finish the stream. Yeah, let's just hold. Straddling again. Should be okay. I remember hearing, I think Jingles spoke of this game a couple times, and his main issue with it was how inaccurate. So we're getting some hits on there. This is how inaccurate shots land, and it does have a point, especially the straddling's fine, I suppose, but it can take ages to build up a decent solution sometimes. We're getting hits around here. Well, that's still moving at 7 knots. Might just get a cheeky hit over there. That's got to be sinking soon. I mean, it's almost submerged on the rear there. Take a report. Critical to critical. A few more decent shots will likely do the job, but then we've got a toaster to deal with as well. Oh dear. Jervis, how are you doing? Still quite the distance away, aren't you? How about Tonne? Can watch both the Andrea Doria and Tonne from here. Really should be firing out with that Algerie. Just, every time we look at this, there's nothing coming in. I think we're just being impatient though. You find manga works best? Yeah, generally it does. There we go. Do see some shots coming in now. And there we go. There's one enemy ship down. Many, many more to go. But that's pretty decent. So far, lost no destroyers of our own either. Let's get the King George V aiming at that toaster, because that can really do some nasty damage to us very, very soon. And I think that's probably what's trying to hit us at the moment as well. So it looks like our guns are trying to aim round. That's all good. Taking a bit of time. They are battleship guns after all. And so that's moving at 13 knots. That's really not the greatest of speeds. Let's fire it over here. We can hold and just watch that to double check our aim, of course. Something's on fire over there. Of course, that's a sinking battleship. Okay. Good. Tonne's on fire there. Great stuff. So we are getting some hits. We're going to have to realign that Algerie's shots soon. Just want to get an idea of how well we've aimed this. Actually pretty damn well. That was pretty spot on. I'll take that. It's not going to be enough to slow it down just yet though. There's Algerie on the list. Number 3 here. Find that tonneau. Wait for the reload, and we can readjust our aim. That's still going at a very meagre 7 knots, actually. Let's just fire out here. Hopefully we force that to stay at a decent speed there. That's minus and minor. That's okay. Right, how's that Nagara doing though? Looks like nothing's happening there. Seattle, well, it probably could broadside a bit more there, but otherwise, I mean, I don't even think it's firing out, is it? Let's just stop that. Hold. Make sure the guns are pointing there. Again, that's not going at the greatest of speeds. Fire out here. There we go. See, they weren't firing at the bloody thing. You see how they turned there? There we go. So we're going to need to adjust that. And definitely get a slight turn on that. Just to get all of our guns firing. That would be great. Okay, well I think we get one more Mangle out. And send that to spotting fire now that we know it is firing out there. And we come back to look at the King George and the Tosa. Looks like we're doing okay. Let's just get the next shot out a bit better because that's clearly changed its course. Yeah, you see how our last shots just were completely missed. But it looks like we're doing okay with the tonneau. Let's make sure we're firing out there once again. Speed has increased the tiniest bit there. Actually run out of AP shells. I don't have many HE left with this, so that's going to be interesting. Not looking too hopeful for our torpedoes either. Italian just surrendered and sank, yeah. That wasn't too bad for the Tosa. We're going to have to change that though once again. Let's point over here, I think. Actually, just wait for the reload. Make that a little more succinct, like that. We taking much damage directly. We're taking a few glancing shots here. We should really think about just changing speeds and stuff a tiny bit. Pull down. Actually, I think what we can do is break up again with the Jervs and try and get into position for some torpedo shots. Seattle's moved a little too much there, forgot about that. Let's change the identification for this and see what happens with our solution. Not a loss at the moment. It's not even really taking shots still, I think. Lost contact with that Hatsuharu, so we need to bring in once again our planes. That's okay. Tonneau is looking good though for us. We just need to readjust our aim once again. But we're really running out of shots. Might start hitting this with the King George. That's actually increased its speed since we last looked. Speaking of the King George, that's on hold. Tosa still working at 30 knots. But we can see actually we've at least deactivated the the 3 and 4 turrets, which is good. Hopefully those fires really burn through to the magazine. Always hopeful of that. It's quite high hopes. What do we see at number 9? We see a transport ship. We might as well get the Marne to fire at that, to be honest, because Hatsuharu's gone. We're just wasting ammo, apparently. Just hold against cease and just hold against that. I don't think we're really aiming at that properly. What do we think this is? Well, it's Japanese. I don't know why I pressed that button. That's a bad habit. So we're going to cycle through once again. That is MS. Got the feeling it's something like, it's not a Kamoi. I think it's actually one of those Tai-Hosan. Yeah, I think so. So we can get some spotting firehouse on there. Don't need AP, need HE. If that Tosa carries on with that turn, these torpedoes are looking a bit better. Are we taking actually some serious hits now? I've got one on the funnel. Okay. What we need to do, I think, really, is just start turning in a little tiny bit, actually, with against the Tosa. Wait for that reload to come through again. Number 10 was struck by a torpedo. Okay, well, we've missed that because we can't see us anymore. So I can't remember what that is, actually. That might just be the Haru, maybe. Let's have a look. So they hit something. That's decent. We'll take that. That is a destroyer. Okay. Alright, I'll take that. Oh, it's popped up again now. That looks like it's thinking about firing out its own torpedoes. It's either Yugamo, Kagamo, or Sashio there. Very happy for that. Let's turn this Seattle back round. Give it orders to come around here. Nothing's really happened with this Kuma or Nagara there. These need to turn around properly. Get some good shots around. Hatsuharu's back, but obviously nothing's happening there. Looks like I've just straddled this again. It's getting a little bit painful now, to be honest. Yeah, we need to readjust here. It's increasing its speed quite well. What's that Tone doing? I think we can probably get away with letting that burn down, really. The Algerie is very low on ammunition. It's got 22 shots left from its main guns. How many has it got left from its... Yeah, it's got quite a few left from its secondaries. Maybe what we can do is actually hold them and get on top of the... not Mangle. Cargo ship there. We are firing out here against that. Let's try and get some spotting properly. King George once again will need to readjust its aim. Look at that Tone in the background. Have we possibly deactivated the number 2 turret there? It's good news if so. There we go. Just want to watch this to see what's going on. We should probably be a bit more active with star shells, really. That's something that's not helping us out. That's the destroyer we hit, which is great. Yeah, weather has definitely become much more important for this mod. Oh, straddle just again. Which is a good thing. That's why we're struggling with our solutions when we're auto-firing. Getting a bit better against the Hatsuharu. But... I really want to finish off the number 10. Really? That was on critical. We might just be able to let that work through. Lost it now. Yeah, there we go. Critical is critical. The toast is only minor once again. That Tone is heavy to moderate, which is good. We're maintaining, fine damage, but if we drag out this battle for much longer, I'm not liking the idea of that. So, I think with the Seattle, that's getting very close to the Hatsuharu, so we just take both directors off, cease, make sure our guns are turning towards that Hatsuharu, get hold in there, and get out some spotting fire against Hatsuharu, because it's much closer, it's 7 kilometers now. That should do quite well. It's possibly worth sending our Marn in closer, but with that Tone's gun still active, yeah, I don't know. Turned around with our King George. Let's send it in then. Just change that and send it straight through there for now. Watch out for Tosa once again. Very patient game we've got to play here. Looks like we've hit the engine room. Speed's gone down to 13 knots, which means we can fire much closer to that. I love seeing the tonneau burning in the distance as well. Marne torps, yes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, really. Just need to double check that with the tonneau's gun still active, but I think that's firing more at our own battleship and heavy cruisers, really. So I think, yeah, we send in the Marne. It's got very short-range torpedoes, but hopefully if we send that in, we can use it pretty decently. Decent shot out there, if I may say so. So, just give that a tiny bit more. Jervis struck by torpedo. There we go then, they did fire out something. What does that mean for us? Well, that's possibly... I want to say the tonneau fired that out at some point. We've lost the Jervis then. I mean, look at that damage. Good thing we turned round the King George. That's all I can say for that. Don't think we're getting any decent hits onto this though. We're firing out with the HE here, secondaries. Looks like the Toast is wandering about its own aim. I think we stopped spotting and actually tries to hit here against Hatzahara. Although that is so close, you probably see that from here. It's right in front of us. Jervis sinking, that didn't take long. Let's hold. And we can get some Mango HE out against us, I think. The travel time is not too long there. Just watch the next volley. Yeah, that's pretty good. You see one or two direct hits there. I'll take that. Definitely take that. There we go. At least we get rid of something. I think we're slowing that down as well. Brilliant. Well, we can aim a bit closer. There you go. Yeah, we'll aim the tiniest bit closer. Lovely stuff. Yeah, we'll re-aim that. That will be going down fairly soon. Then the absolute barrage of fire from our Seattle there. That's another destroyer down. So I think we can push this in. That's the number 10's clearly fine now. Let's get some spotting fire onto that. Try and identify it to help us out. Even just call it, I don't know, let's say, let's try a Sashio for now. Not entirely sure actually. It's only got 2 sets of torpedoes. It's got the hallmarks of something like a Sashio or Kagano perhaps. Standard Yugamo. Otherwise I'm not too sure. I think we can bring in the Seattle a little closer now though. Bring that very aggressive actually. Cummings, don't know what you're doing. That should be in line with the Napier here. Don't know why that's moved so far away. Should really start hitting this ship, shouldn't we? Once again, if possible. How are we doing with the King George though? Because that's going to be wasting ammo now. None crashed yet? No, not yet. Do you notice how smaller ships are screening the battleship? Yes, I do actually. It's quite useful. It's a good idea. They certainly work better. Make much more sensible moves, don't they? How's that tonneau doing though? I mean, it's been allowed to recover, hasn't it? Might be an idea to get a couple King George volleys onto that, you know. I mean, we do have 2 directors. Let's just hold for now. You see, we readjusted for tonneau. Do we get an idea if that last volley hit? It certainly did hit! Hit the bridge, a couple of bits in the midships, great stuff. But I think really we get rid of that tonneau, clear up space for the Marne, to try doing an M run. So that's 18 knots, quite close, far right here. Hopefully that at least gets some very near misses, because the large caliber of the King George should do some good damage. That's re-establishing contact. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. Pretty much direct hit again. Okay. Should slow it down. You'd hope. Yeah, ships crashing is something I have trouble with as well, to be honest. It's something to do with they don't like to stay in formation too well. And there's the... Oh, very nice secondary explosion. There's the option to evade hazards, and with that on, for some reason, they don't understand that the hazards they're trying to avoid are actually ships misbehaving in the formation. There we go. That, I think one more volley, that will probably send that down. So we can fire right onto the bow. That's where we want to hit. It's pretty much untouched, apparently. I'm just going to double check our own scouting once again, because we're losing these kingfishers, and that's what's really bringing us together here. You can see a lot of them have just left the battlefield. We'll come back to this Tonny now. Take a sip of midry. It's going to come in soon. There we go. Lovely stuff. Take a report. Tonne is critical to heavy. Alright, maybe just another one for luck. Just another one for luck. Let's get back to the King George. Well, that's fired off anyway, so that's okay. Hold now, just to conserve the tiniest bit of ammo. How are we doing that Seattle? It's a question. I want really to start aiming onto that possibly a Kuma. So hold on there. We don't have secondaries on the Seattle. It's interesting. Don't see any shots coming through, but we are getting struck by that. Because the rest of them... Oh, we do have... I forgot about the... I think that's probably a Königsberg. That Tonne is done for, isn't it? Surely that's done for. Just see if its guns are still firing. It looks like they're active there, these front two. But the Marne needs to just get in now, doesn't it? Full speed ahead. Algerie has torpedoes. We can move that in. And you know what? This cargo ship is right in front of our King George, so we're going to look at that. Just there. Load the HE. Brace yourselves. That's right in front of us, so lead shouldn't have to be much of a bother. We're going to fire out. There we go. And hopefully decent hit. Yes, love to see it. Love to see it. How do I get this mod? I've been told it's on ModDB, but I got sent it by Sun Tzu, who helped mod it. There we go, that's going down. No need to fire us anymore. Let's redirect. Surely that Tonne is down. Let's get back onto the tosser because it's going to be very nasty. Hold on to that. Get the Seattle firing, I think, onto the Kuma if possible. That should be able to fire out some AP, shouldn't it? Got a few shots left. How are we holding up over here? Getting something decent. There we go. There's some shots coming through for this. See how they land. Yeah, I can't see any shots coming through though. It's taking some time. Navy's taking some minor flooding. Let's get on top of that. Okay. This might have to be another mangle job here. And on top. That's 22 knots, quite fast. But we're not too far away. Yeah, I don't think we're really firing here. There we go, getting some forward shots out. See how that goes. Keep moving our aim. There we go, something coming through. Oh, very nice central hits there. Hopefully that slows it down again. Yeah, that toaster I think is going to take some torpedo hits really. We're just not doing much work with the King George there, are we? So we'll keep an eye on that. Keep firing there. How is the King George doing, by the way? Well, it's not moving exactly the right way. I think we want to just move it in here. Tonne, we're dead in the water. Number 7 should probably be fired at though. From the Mar. Get some spotting shots on there. I don't know what it is though. Japanese. MS. Let's just have to cycle through. Looks like a redesigned crocodile maybe. Not really with the plates. Looking for that funnel really would certainly help. That's the one. It's gotta be Casimaru. Gotta be. Yeah, it can't be much else. In fact, the yeah. See the solution pot right up there? You can take off a spotting fire and go straight for that. But right in front of us anyway. Hopefully that takes some hits. Yeah, there we go. Lovely stuff. So how are we doing? Kuma still needs to be microed over here. He's just going to be missing. King George should really start firing out once again onto the Tulsa. Which is much closer now. Yeah, you're getting some fair hits around this ship. That's okay. Look at that. Still going at decent speed though. Yeah, Mantop 7.4. We want to get into a good position for that toaster though. It will be in range of that toaster. 6.2. What area is that Tonne's guns looking? I want to send a single... Kuma's finally down. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. What's retreating here? Well, we have a German light cruiser, which we've completely left. Well, let's send, I think, some... Is a Napier able to send torps? It is not because we use them. That was ages ago now, it feels like. Let's get some spotting shells out then with that against this German cruiser. We'll try and identify, it looks like a Königsberg. Let's move over. That's got to be, hasn't it? It's got 9 guns apparently though. That might even be a big German destroyer actually. Speaking of that. That would be a big destroyer. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guns. Suggests it could be a Z44 or Z23. It's going to come down to funnels. I'm thinking Z23 so far. Certainly not a 46 or a more advanced 52. I'm thinking 23. Not 23 because that's right. We'll try that. Let's see. Let's hit that out there. Taking a few hits here. Seattle can start firing on that once again. Then HE spotting. Cummings actually could probably fire out some torpedoes onto the Tosa. If that takes over to here for now, starts firing, get some torpedoes just generally in that direction. We take off the starboard side because they'll curl around, do something nasty to us. We fire all the way out here to give it something to think about. Just redirect our guns actually because that's going to lose that. How's the Seattle doing? That's going to be better. Let's take off spotting. We should be seeing some shots coming through towards that. Once again, how's King George doing? Not really taking much damage, which is excellent. Toast is still going slow. How are we looking then against this? Okay, Marn, what are you doing with this calcium marrow? There we go, now it's sinking. Right, what side of the Tonne's guns facing? It's facing port side. Let's pull up to its starboard then with the Marn. Actually, they're still active. Let's just get some shots onto that and see if we can encourage that to go down. See the shots from the Seattle coming in and hitting this one hard though. That's excellent. Yeah, all Zev variants do look about the same actually, that's the thing. But the thing is, German destroyer is so massive, that's why I thought it was a Königsberg actually. That's how inexperienced I am with it as well actually. Yeah, I just watched that King George's shots. Line one more volley up there, but we do need to, like you say, to watch that Marn now actually. We are getting hits on that Tonne, but of course, you know, destroyer shots, are they really going to penetrate through too well? I don't know. Okay, slow down. Full broadside. Torpedo her. We take off one, just send out one volley there. We'll just send out 2 torpedoes. Don't need to... Actually, we'll do a 1 degree spread, just for the sake of it. Let's see. Our solution's pretty terrible, so that's going to have to be a mangle fire out there, I think. It's not moving, just send it in that direction. Yeah, we're taking a few shots from its secondaries, that's okay. Yes, an explosion on the rear there, actually. Well, fire those out. Hopefully they're not duds. Max speed. Just very quickly smoke up. And watch out for the Tosa. Let's move that. It's going to have to be HE because it's a battleship. Just try and get some shots out for the ranging and solutions. See the massive flashes out. That's actually, I think, firing at the Marn. Possibly. Just hope we've got these torpedoes alright. They look like they're on a line there, but we might well lose this Marn because of it. Yeah, that's firing out. Hopefully they're not duds. There's one. And there's 2. Now, will this bloody ship sink? Yes, it will. Okay, now we can move to a massive portside turn if our engine's still running. Probably not. Oh dear, how's this one looking then? Well, that's going to go down fairly soon. Oh dear. Yeah, I think this is actually firing at the Marn, you know. Oh, why are we firing HE? Don't want that. It's a shame. How are we doing with this? Yeah, we can't move now with this, so we just want to get a couple of torpedoes out. I just want to get the torpedoes out here. Tell you what, we'll fire out... Oh, we've lost our torpedoes. But a worthy sacrifice. That Marn had a great running. We're on fire quite a bit here. You can't really spare any damage control teams, can we? Firing with the wrong thing here. That will have something to do with it. Yeah, Marn sinking, that's okay. For everything else we've sunk, to lose the Marn and a Jervis so far, I'm quite happy for that, that's okay. Batter this down. Get the destroyers over here onto this merchant ship. And get the King George once again firing on. It's going to 1v1 the Tosa head on. That's turning quite a bit, so I don't think we need to lead too much with that, you know. Let's give it a look, see where those shots land though. I think we've certainly deactivated one of these turrets. Something's sinking. Z23, and that's a excellent direct hit to midships there. Love to see it. Fire out again about here, adjusting for a bit of reload. Ricey, Seattle absolutely has to help against this Tosa because, well, we need something a bit better against that, don't we? Let's fire out. And we're going to try and cross its T over here a little bit. Let's get the Napier moving around. I don't know what this is. Looks like a German one. G fire. And Cummings HG fire. Like so. I'll try and identify that just for a bit of help. Let's go to keep missing MS. It's got to be this one, hasn't it? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Instantly going up with a solution. Hold that. We're just missing the shots there. How we're doing with damage. Looks like it's actually going to fire at the Seattle. So we're going to want to take evasive maneuvers of that very soon. Let's make sure we get this shot out. Please. Okay. Seattle, how you doing? You need to, I think, just run away, smoke up. Yeah, look at that. Direct hits from a battleship. Not ideal. It's got a terrible solution on that, though. Massive hits from our own battleship, though, clearly. Let's get out some more here. King George, please fire out once again. Further out, because it's still maintaining quite a solid lead. Getting some good hits in with Seattle, but it's only minor caliber shells. Looks like it's doing something, though. Excellent. We can hit through to that engine room. We can make it a sitting duck. Love to see it. Yes. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Okay. Actually, yeah, make a complete turn, actually, because then we can get around to the back of it once again. But we fire out a little more for the front of the ship. Same again with King George, because that needs to hold. Well, it's taken a while. But excellent gains. Very good gains indeed. I'll stand up and stretch my legs, I think. There we go, lovely stuff. Wait for the King George shots to come on through. Hear them crashing down, surely. Be much more obvious than the Seattle's ones. I think that's finally a sitting duck, actually. Yeah, that's absolutely is. 3 knots speed. Double check how we're doing over here. We're getting some hits about. That's okay. Take a time with that one. Lovely. Yeah, we can just carry on now. Well, we're very, very lucky, actually. What was that sank? Enemy cargo ship. Brilliant. Seattle, yeah, you can stop turning. Just rearrange its shots very quickly. We've actually lost a turret on the Seattle. Is that... that's because we need the... Why is that actually? That's on the rear. I'm looking in the wrong place. Yeah, it's completely out. But that's now done. Enemy fleet's completely sunk. Wow. What a battle. Certainly worth the wait. Might want to send the Seattle back to repair because it's missing that final turret. And we'll send the Cummings back for sure. We lost 2 destroyers in total, though. Battleship pretty much unscathed, which is excellent. We certainly need to rearm with everything, though, because that artillery pretty much was sat out for half the battle after missing most of its shots. But, oh, we left the Sasha number 10 on critical and critical. That's a shame. Oh, we completely forgot about that. Oh well, not a bother. It's 1 destroyer, very much damaged, 24 command points. Very, very happy with that. 127.8 thousand tons of shipping sunk. We'll take that. But of course, that's at the cost of having enemy troops landed at Milne Bay, if you remember why we're actually doing that battle at this point. Okay, we'll come back to Renault Island to rearm. But that is going to be the end of this particular stream, guys. Been going on for 3.5 hours, pretty much. That's pretty damn decent. I was expecting for 2. Thank you very much to everyone who's been watching. Really, really appreciate it. Stick about for a couple minutes if you have anything else to say. But otherwise, all I've got to ask is, well, pending apparently pending legal searches. Would you like to see more of this mod? I'll ask both sides, see what they say about about the ins and outs of this mods. It's a bit of a shame if it is a bit on the dodgy side, but otherwise, if you'd like to see more and it's all good, then I'll certainly be happy to produce more. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Just stick about if you've got anything you'd like to say. Just say a quick bye-bye. Once again, yeah, it's been great to have you all. Very, very happy with that. Very, very happy indeed. I do very much appreciate it. Sorry, it looks like my yeah, it just looked like my chat froze for a minute, so just catching up. Yeah, it was very fun. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, no. Thank you, everyone. Well, that's going to be it then. I'll see you in the future. Watch out once again. I do have a standard series War on the Sea video coming out normal time on Saturday. Put that in there. Watch out for that. Very spicy once again. Involves an enemy carrier and a few battleships. Yeah, that'll be it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.